Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite, presented to you, as always, by Wilhelm. I am Drew Goldfarb, joined by my good friend, F5 Penguin, Nick DeMeo. Nick, hey, it's good to be with you again. It's been a little while.
It's been a long time. I am so glad. I smell it in the air, that virtual ice being laid aforth. It is time for ECL hockey, and what better way than to do it with you, Drew?
It's going to be fun, and you know what? It's also kind of cool is that we're so early in the stage of NHL 21, and when you go from NHL 20 to 21, all those little tweaks that EA Sports makes year to year can impact the way that these games go, some of the strategies that might have to be implemented. It's always fun to see early in the season, the first season with the new game, how the teams adjust, what adjustments end up working the best, and what teams have to adjust for beyond that.
Yeah, and we've seen already there's a buzz in the air around competitive hockey just across the entire world, not just the country, but the whole globe is feeling the buzz. And by all accounts, NHL 21 has been a great game so far, with a lot of teams stepping up and getting into competitive sixes.
It's been a lot of fun to play. It's been a lot of fun to watch so far. This, of course, the second broadcast of the week here for the ECL Elite, presented to you by Wilhelm. We saw a couple games back on Monday, a couple teams playing doubleheaders on Monday. That was fun, and we want to take a look at the standings here to get going here. But we are only in the first week of the season, so the standings, a lot can change as this year goes on, because as you can see, no team has played more than 2 games except for one, and that team 4-0 sitting in first place.
That's exactly right. We're just getting started, just underway, especially here in the ECL Elite, when there's just a limited number of teams that exist in this division. But you see it here. Off to a great start early can sometimes equate to great things, and we're seeing that so far with the team that we're covering today, like SJ Gaming.
SJ Gaming is one of the teams that we're featuring here in game number 1. As you see, they are sitting in a tie for second place in the overall standings. They're taking on Dark Horse, which is going to be an interesting team to see how they go about things this season. And when we're looking at the way that these teams are stacked up and they're going head-to-head here, these early season games can really help you at least, get your foot in the right spot in the standings. Because Dark Horse, you see, right there in 5th place. You can see what they've done so far this season. They can climb in the rankings very easily and kind of get that week 1 off to a great start and try to be, you don't have to be in a playoff spot week 1 necessarily, but the higher up in the standings you could be when week 1 is done, the easier it's going to be to hold that spot for week 2, week 3, and so on.
Yeah, you want to get out to an early start, and especially in a season like this. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but you want to get ahead early so you have something to fall back on. What's interesting is this season's a little bit different for some of these teams, and we'll get into the storylines in a little bit, but obviously between practice and now getting into the real games, and it just doesn't translate the same when you're playing in practice versus now. So these teams, some new players on them, are getting a feel for each other and kind of getting their chemistry together on a competitive level. So we'll see that take shape as well. And so far, some mild success and some great success for both teams respectively.
And also, we have some teams that are changing divisions. So we have some players that are used to playing at the pro level. They're now playing at the elite level. And if you can get off to that 1-1 start, you can keep your goals against and goals for as in the plus when you add those up. You're doing all right. It'll be interesting to see if SJ Gaming can break through. They have not scored a power play goal yet. Again, they've only played 2 games. Neither team has given up a power play goal to this point in the season. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams can do here as they play 2 more games right here, bright and early on the west coast of the United States where I am. Nice mid-afternoon where you are on the East Coast. And good evening. We're in prime time if you're over in Europe watching this game here. And you can see some of the games that are going on today, the matchups that we've got. We've got the one that's at the top of your screen, and we've got the matchup that's at the bottom of your screen right there on that little start time chart.
Yeah, it's fun to stay at but nevertheless, the exciting thing about this is, like you said, it's early in the season. We're covering a bunch of great games tonight. And I like personally in the ECL Elite, the shot selection is so precise and so direct. So when we look at some of those early stats, that might not be indicative of the performance of the team as the season progresses, because everybody's so particular about who they're shooting against, where they're going, where those pucks are flying into the net. Are they making the pass instead? And it's like almost a soccer or football approach to hockey at this level, and it's really exciting to watch, as we saw on Monday.
Yeah, that was one of the things that when we go back months and months, kind of getting a feel for things, for me anyway, early this year, it was interesting to see how the shot numbers don't really reflect the chances because as you said, teams will take the best opportunity they get and they will work until they can get that. So it's always interesting to see the way that goes and kind of how that plays in. And it leads to some interesting shot totals and some interesting save percentages for goalies, especially early in the season, where you can play really good hockey and be really good in net and still have your save percentage look like you're kind of, only stopping 2 out of 3 or something to that extent. But it doesn't really indicate how good you may have played at that point.
Yeah, as we see some of the times we've called games together in the ECL Elite, we see maybe 12 shots a game, 11 shots a game. And it's like the opposite of what you do in traditional hockey sense when 12 people are physically together on the ice, where you just put pucks to net. Different approach here at this level, and I think it's because we have this high quality of play. The players know what shots are going to make it on net, which ones are going to be the high success points, and they take those chances rather than taking every chance that they possibly can get.
And we want to take a look at the lineups here that we're going to be going with game one. We have a doubleheader between these teams, Dark Horse and SJ Gaming. You can see the makeup of these lineups on your screen right now. These teams will be going head-to-head twice, back-to-back. We'll have both of those games for you. So when we're looking at this lineup here and we go position by position, Nick, where do you want to start and how do these teams compare?
Yeah, let's just bring it up, and we'll start with the centers. I always like starting from the top and working our way backwards. And we take a look at some of these centers. It's really impressive to see what they've done in previous seasons. I want to point out specifically Jorma playing last season with Reality Check in the Pro Division, now making his debut up at the Elite level. This could be something interesting to keep an eye on, how the speed's a little bit different, how the style's a little bit different. And looking at his face-off percentage, not great so far, but again, early on in the season, we get that. But able to produce a lot of goals, 28 goals in 30 games played last season in the Pro Division, looking to replicate that here. But the big thing I think is interesting about him, 7 game-winning goals. So the puck on stick equating to great things long-term.
Yeah, 1 out of every 4 goals that he scored last season was a game winner. That's and when you're talking about 28 goals in the year, to have a quarter of those end up being the one to seal the deal in a game, that's impressive. And it's been nice seeing what he's done so far. Again, it's very small sample size, but stepping up to the elite level from pro, a pair of assists for him so far this season. And on the other side, not too shabby either. Also coming up from pro, 14 goals, 34 assists, 48 points in a little bit more limited, 26 games. Talent on both ends for 2 centers that are each stepping up from the pro to the elite level this year.
And the interesting thing about Maquis is the ability to win more than half of his faceoffs. So that's the key there, is controlling the play. So I think it's going to be kind of cool seeing two teams with 2 centermen moving up one division and playing at a higher level, feeling each other out, and looking at the stats that might go over to Dark Horse. They might have the advantage, at least on the dot, for the draws this game coming up.
And as we move over to the wings on Dark Horse's side, we're going to be looking at 2 more players stepping up from pro. Of course, this team won the pro division last year. So with their players moving up, a lot of them moving up within this same team, these are the best of the level below that are now testing their skills against the best of the best, the ECL Elite. So not a bad start, considering especially year 1 at the elite level for the guys that are on the left of your screen.
Yeah, left of the screen. Let's talk about shot accuracy. 45.8% last season for Vertsu, able to produce at an unheard of rate when it comes to putting the puck in the back of the net when it's on his stick. My goodness, that's going to be something to deal with on the other side for SJ Gaming when it comes to making sure you don't let him shoot the puck, let alone block the shot. Don't let him shoot the puck because it's probably going to go in.
And you can see, of course, on the other side, we got to talk about Yakuri. 3 goals already through 2 games. Fantastic season last year. Basically was averaging a goal and an assist every single game over the course of 30 games played last season for SJ Gaming.
You want to talk about a strong start and trusting a player to get you those wins. 2-0, 3 goals, 1 assist. So responsible for 4 goals so far this season. by and large from his own volition. That's something you really have to look for and go, okay, can I get him the puck more? Can I make him produce more? Where is he going to be at on the ice? You have to watch those kind of players.
EA Bunkus sliding over from the Ghetto Firebirds, staying at the elite level here. Also had a very strong season last year with 47 points. And 2-2-2. Deuce is wild. 2 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. That's, those are pretty solid numbers through 2 games.
Forward's going to work as expected, and that's kind of a good reason. A good reason why that this team is 2-0 right now, able to win the games that matter when they have forwards and a wing pair that can produce like that. That's something very commendable at this elite division.
And trying to slow down the wingers and the centers, that's going to be the defenseman. And we've got one defenseman on the Dark Horse side that did play at the elite level last year with Checkmate, but slides over to this team as they step up from the pro division to play for Dark Horse this year, and already a goal and an assist through the first 2 games with his new team.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch, and this is what we talked about, is teams kind of switching over, or players moving over from division to division, maybe moving from team to team, and you see that here. So big thing I've noticed with the ECL Elite, especially in the past couple seasons, it's going to be the same case this season, is their need to build chemistry from the back moving forward. We have that here where they're going to be learning each other and how they play and getting used to that, especially with Karki coming up from the pro division moving into the elite. You want to make sure you have that chemistry between the two. Where are people going? Where are they moving? And making sure you're covering for those players when they do step up to try to score or produce a little bit more offensively. That's going to be fun to watch and a good talking point, I think, as we move through these first 2 games.
We've seen Terity quite a bit playing in these leagues, and Ikoski moving over. He spent the last 2 seasons as a backup playing for Habu Gaming. So through 2 games here, no points, but his team's sitting at 2-0. So a pretty solid start if you're a defenseman, and you can get your team off to that 2-0 start. The guys who are responsible for stopping the pucks when they do get through to stop those really good chances, the 2 players that are in net. We've seen Hitala quite a few times when we've done some broadcasting from the previous season together, and a great start for him. Just 1 goal against average through 2 games and save percentage of above 90. That's
yeah, when you're putting up 90+ save percentage numbers in this division, you're putting up NHL level numbers of your save percentage. That's something remarkable and to look at and to keep an eye on. If you can hold that hot streak through the season, you're bound for greatness in this division. I expect that here. We obviously look at last season's numbers. In 30 games played, 76%. So right now, riding the hot hand and playing that well. 1 goal against average. You can't really complain, right, Drew?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, if you could give up 1 goal in every game, you're at the very least, giving your team a really good opportunity, a chance to win these games, if not setting your team up for just a spectacular season. And obviously we would expect, just because of, the nature of time and playing NHL at this kind of level, that the goals against average will go up at least a bit for him as over the course of the season. But ride it while you can. 1 goal against 1.002. That isn't rounded. That's not rounding down. That's not even rounding up. That is literally 1 goal per game that he has played so far. So Dark Horse will be trying to get more than a single goal against SJ Gaming. And that's something that, I mean, if you're Dark Horse, if you can try to get one maybe early to try to put the pressure on, because Hitala has not given up anything other than a single goal in a game so far this season.
Yeah, and if you look at what they've done last season, ECL 10 Pro Dark Horse, they were first in goals for at 109 goals, more than half of what they were doing in goals allowed. So if you're a 2-to-1 ratio on goals for versus goals against, hopefully you can replicate that here at this higher division, at least somewhat, and try to generate something past a goalie who is obviously playing out of his mind right now.
And also, I mean, I know Movember just ended, but you got to always point out the mustache when we get to this kind of screen here. I mean, that's just a fantastic, that's some hockey mustache right there.
That the stash needs to be respected, and he's going to put some respect on that stash and the name and his stick for his team tonight. I think so.
Absolutely. So we're going to see what happens here, because we've got a doubleheader between these 2 teams, Dark Horse and SJ Gaming, going head-to-head. They will be the first 2 games that we are featuring today. We have 4 in total coming your way. So before we get to game 1, Nick, what do you got going into this? What kind of keys do you have if you're trying to see for these teams to pick up victories in this matchup?
I think we have a lot of new pictures to look at with this ECL Elite division this season. It's fun to see teams coming up, backups becoming starters on other teams. They've learned a lot, chemistry building. It's a different landscape in the world. And then, as you mentioned, we have a new game. So NHL 21, another thing to learn. So a lot of different wrinkles that we're ironing out. And we have a lot more inclusion this season. There's just a lot of great things. And with over 50 sponsored teams now, including real-life clubs from Sweden, Finland, the KHL. The ECL is the place to be, and this should be an interesting season. You all are in for a treat, I promise you, as long as you follow all of our coverage as we move through this season.
Yeah, really excited about this one. What have you seen when you've been playing and commentating on these Sixes games? What is the biggest difference, do you think, from NHL 20 to 21? Because when you're playing kind of online, if you're trying the threes, if you're trying, playing against the computer, just you versus them, there are certain things that jump out. But what is it in Sixes that might be either the trickiest little wrinkle that's been added or something that you've noticed that teams are doing differently so far?
I know I'm going to get flack from this because I'm not the elite competitive player, but looking at it from a different perspective, from a broadcasting perspective, I'm seeing a difference in the speed of the game. Players that are a little bit faster, that shows, and especially against defenders who want to play as a grinder or an enforcer, they might not be able to keep up against that guy that's just bolting down the side. Previous seasons of NHL 19 and 20, you can kind of keep up toe-to-toe or get your stick out there. What I've also seen is pickups and where the puck bounces, those little one-touch dekes that you can kind of do to get around players, or just the ability to bank something off the board and get to another player. That's been happening a lot in the neutral zone. So it's been fun to see that happening in other competitive games that I've been able to watch and call. I think that will translate well here as well, specifically around moving the puck. It just feels a little bit snappier, and the players that move it a lot better, it pays off in the long run. I think the parity between skill on the stick is greater now than it ever has been for NHL.
I had to mention, when you said the thing about the speed, I play my brother, just me versus him online because he lives on the opposite side of the country from me. And we do like 3 random teams, pick one. And I don't remember which team it was that I picked, but the speed, they need to start displaying the speed ratings on the team select screen if you're doing something like that, because, oh man, the amount of times that I got caught from behind, or just like suddenly it was a one-on-one that I just got burned on. Just the speed does have that kind of impact. And I also just wanted to, make an excuse for losing that game against my brother that we played like a week ago. So I appreciate you giving me that opportunity.
Every time that we sit down to do a broadcast, you tell me another reason why you lost to your brother. I think at this point, on record, Drew, I think you just need to say that the trophy belongs in the other Goldfarb house.
So here's the thing, though. We played some threes online the other day. That's our most recent game that we've played, where we were on the same team. We played 2, and I was the first star of the game for both, and he was not. So, I mean, I don't know. It's he's a lot better at using the skill stick and the one-touch dekes than I am. So he's a lot better with that when it comes to playing. I'm better at doing commentary than he is, but if you live in the Atlanta area and you need some car insurance, he's going to be way better at doing that than I am.
And I always tell people I've been able to be a broadcaster in NHL competitive Sixes for almost 6 years now, maybe coming up on 7 if I do my math correctly, because who maths right now inside lockdown? But nevertheless, those who can't do broadcast, and I am lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I did play some rec hockey, beer league, whatever you want to call it, last night, and I commentate a little bit better than I played in that one. But hey, the teams have found each other. That's always nice, and you can see the matchups here. I'm not going to let you start talking about what my skill level may or may not be. But yeah, we have Letterkenny themed jerseys. That's kind of cool for any of our North American viewers, especially in Canada that might be into that show. So, but the teams have found each other. We are getting ready to go, and as you can see, the ECL Elite is presented to you by Wilhelm. Some great snacks. I have not been able to partake because I do not believe they're available where I live in Nevada. But I have been informed that they are just fantastic, and I think that Ken is going to be mailing us a packet of some of this stuff once that is maybe permissible. At least,
how does that work with customs?
I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there so that maybe Ken will actually mail me some snacks. kind of hungry right now. It's about 11 a.m. Pacific time where I am, so I got lunch on the brain. A little bit, yeah. I got to get a little bit of snack here, but we are getting set. We are underway here for game number 1. It is going to be Dark Horse going up on your screen. They're in the white jerseys. It is SJ Gaming in the red and black going down on your screen, and we are underway here with game 1 of our 4 games worth of coverage of the ECL Elite, presented to you by Wilhelm. And very quickly, the puck in deep in the Dark Horse end, but they're trying to move it out. That's Karki making the pass out of the zone, but immediately turned over. The EA Bunka spinning it back for the defenseman. Trying to thought about D-to-D, went back to EA Bunka. Now down low in Gretzky's office, trying the wraparound, quick redirection, and on the rebound, EA Bunka, just like that, makes it 1-0 SJ Gaming.
Loose pucks in front of the slot, a deadly combination this year for teams that are able to make the plays happen. They do so here, and a quick start from that loose puck. You have to clear the zone as a defenseman. They could not do so there.
What a great flurry of offense just to get things going here by SJ Gaming, and they forced that turnover. May have been looking for the wraparound try, fed it in front, a quick little rebound, and nice little celebration too. I don't know if I've really seen that one with dropping the stick, or unless that was just an animation that got the stick knocked out of their hands. But it is a 1-0 game. SJ Gaming on top, the visitors for this contest, and we are now getting set yet again as we are back underway. Villa trying to move it up, and now McKee's trying to get it back. Just really can't get across the blue line. I know we see that a lot where you get that feeling out process, but SJ Gaming doing a really great job of holding the blue line and now starting things back the other way. It's EA Bunka in the offensive end, pressured and loses the puck as Karki took it away and got it back to center, but it was spun right back on goal. Nice little poke by Yakuri to send it towards the corner. That leads to a shot from the point and tipped in front, but a nice save is made by Magazan. Big steal again, SJ Gaming. Complete control of the puck as they move towards the corner. Yakuri centers it in front. That shot ends up going wide from Yorma. Held in the zone by pinching in Koski. And now handed over to EA Bunky. He's got the goal. Quick slap shot rebound opportunity. Long wrister again taken. And again, the save made by Magazam, who has made a number of saves already here, just 7 minutes into the first period. And now a delayed penalty is coming. So Dark Horse will be shorthanded as they touch the puck here. 2-minute tripping minor is the call, and SJ Gaming up 1-0, and now a power play chance as Vertsu goes to the box.
Already dealing with an entourage, a flurry of shots here, now on the penalty kill. Coming into this season, the ECL 10 pro stats for Dark Horse, 77% in penalty killing, just 17th out of 30 seconds. So not too great here. They need to kill off a big one right here in the first period.
They did win the draw, and now they clear it out of the zone. McKee's in the offensive end, now shorthanded, tried to spin it, lost it towards the slot. Trying to pick it up was Christus, but could not get to it as it's taken out of the zone. We're about a third of the way through this power play chance. They cannot get into the zone cleanly. A nice little stick work there by Karki, and the puck is sent the length of the ice where SJ Gaming will touch back up. Koski up ahead, EA Bunka with the goals. Stepping in and now spinning it back up top for Koski. Pinching in down low, send it back all the way around the boards. Again, the puck centered, one-timer, and they score! Koski with the goal on the power play.
Koski with the little fake. You can see the shot happening. It looked like the pass was going to go down low, but instead they got the defenders to bite to that direction and left open a spot right in the middle of the ice. And that slot play, again, going to work here for them, and it seems to be paying off.
What an offensive showing so far from SJ Gaming here early on. They had 5 shots on goal prior to the start of the power play, which we were just talking about going into this game. I mean, normally you're looking at, 8 to 12 shots in a game. They were on pace for, I don't know what the shot total is up to now thanks to the power play, but with about a third of the way through for the first period of the game, they were already on pace for, I don't even know, like 25 shots, something like that. Doing that at this hour is not the curse. We talk about it, so clearly the exact opposite is going to happen. And now trying to respond and get an answer was Dark Horse, but they turned it over. Nice little steal. Poking it into the zone was Christus, but could not retain possession. Koski, the most recent goal, handed it off to EA Bunka, and now spinning around with it towards center ice is Yakuri, and they'll just reset. SJ Gaming taking their time now, trying to get that long pass. They connect. EA Bunka stepping into the slot, backhand pass, and that one goes on goal and is covered up by Magazam.
And going back to respecting the defense there, they put a little pass behind the back, behind the legs, and try to pick that up there. Way to go for Karki staying with that attacker and holding them at bay.
Here's Karki with the puck. Gives it back to Villo, and now moved back on ahead. But offside, and then a huge hit right after the whistle. This Dark Horse was just offside. They're still looking for their first shot on goal of this game. It is a 2-0 lead for SJ Gaming. And the faceoff won cleanly by Yorma, and that leads to this opportunity, that centering feed. They were looking for that one-timer to the slot. Yakuri could not get the stick on the pass. A really good intercept by the Dark Horse defense. Puck in the corner, battled for and picked up by Vertsu, and now cleared out after a couple of passes. Philo with the cross pass to Karki, now in the zone, just try to backhand it on. Saw the pressure coming, but could not get it in, at least not deep enough to retain possession. Nice little spin move by Yakuri the other way. Centering feed again. That one may have been blocked by the defenseman. On the doorstep, again the shot, and that time they score. Yorma making it 3-0.
Oh, and the pressure just keeps mounting. Good defensive play to block that shot. It was either Karki or Vertsu making that defensive play, but then just retaining possession and just pounding at the doorstep. Eventually that door is going to break if they don't clear it out. And that one might have actually gone off of Karki. Looking at the animation, it looked like it might have bounced off of her skate and into the net. I'll have to see how that looked like if we get another replay of it. But for right now, it's 3-0. SJ Gaming well in control here in the late stages of the third period.
Fantastic start for the team that is currently 2-0. SJ Gaming up 3-0 with a little over 3 minutes to play here in the first period. SJ Gaming playing with it D to D, and now on ahead. EA Bunka gets it in the zone, but offside with 2:44 to go in period number 1.
And these offsides might be actually benefiting Dark Horse right now, slowing down the offensive rushes coming into the zone. Might play to their benefit. If you could just break that momentum up a little bit, it might help you kind of rebound a little bit.
Trying to get it into the offensive end, but Dark Horse just not given any space to move the puck into the offensive end. And just like that, EA Bunka dropping it back for Yorma, but a nice steal is made by Vertsu to start the puck the other way. A couple little touch passes, maybe trying to create a little bit of space. Opportunity on the one-timer, first shot of the game, first goal of the game. Vertsu on the board for Dark Horse.
And they moved that up so well, up the right side, right defense, taking it all the way down to the right circle and just finding some room to make that secondary pass, getting it into a scoring chance. And then at the back door there, Vertsu working his way up the ice into the slot. And again, slot play there. You have to pick those guys up, take a body, press them, push them, put a stick down, something. He was wide open, and that cuts the lead into just 2.
Really great passing, and what we saw different, I think, out of Dark Horse on that rush, as we have now under 45 seconds left to go in the first period, is they were constantly moving the puck. They were not trying to just skate across the blue line. They were pass, and then a quick shot. And that was what resulted in the goals. We're in the closing seconds here of the first period, but we are going to be done with period number 1. The score, 3-1 SJ Gaming, but the most recent goal coming on the Dark Horse side of things as Vertsu picked up the tally with about a minute left to go, and that is the goal that we will be taking another look at, because great passing sets this one up right in the low slot.
And they moved that one quite well. It kind of felt like they got their legs under them, for lack of a better term here. Late in the game, they moved it up, and that one rush just changes the momentum and the pace of how this game's going to progress. Now you have something to build on going into the locker room. You can kind of chat for a second, regain your composure, and then see what you can do and replicate that again in the early stages of the next frame. So I liked that. I liked the response. You stay calm, you play the process, you trust what you're doing, and hopefully that equates to something good. It did here, and now it's 3-1.
Play the process, trust what you're doing. I thought you were basically going with the Philadelphia 76ers kind of reference with that. You're just trust the process. Trust the process, and eventually, you'll get a bunch of first-round picks and, be able to do something. And then lose to the Raptors on a weird fadeaway shot from the corner.
I was saving our obscure other sports and wrestling and hip-hop references for later in the broadcast, but I'm glad you brought it to the forefront here in the first intermission.
Taking another look at some of the goals that we saw in this period. We saw 4 goals in the first period, 7 total shots, divided 6-1 in favor of SJ Gaming. But that most recent goal again from Dark Horse. And did you notice anything different as far as when they scored that goal? I mean, I was just talking about the way that they moved the puck. Is that something that when you're facing a team that is not giving you any space, that you basically can use a lot of quick short passes to create it, as they have another opportunity here, but send the puck wide?
Yeah, you have to move the puck quickly and in short stints. You can't try those stretch passes. They're going to pick those up. They move to the puck in rapid succession. So you have to try short little passes, get them sliding, get them moving, just to kind of keep them more honest about what you're doing, make it less predictable. It looked like that happened there because you don't see that right defenseman coming up so much, especially at this elite division. You don't really see that. So it's nice that they had 4 attackers basically on that puck, and that equated to a good scoring chance. Whether or not it was a goal, it was there, and that was a good start for them, I think.
Really nice rush by SJ Gaming, but the defense was back for Dark Horse as we have an offside to make sure that they did not get to go straight down the slot. They had to go a little bit wide, and that allowed the save to be made by Magazam. So face-off just outside of the SJ Gaming zone. Nice little tie-up off the draw. And it'll be Villo moving in, try to take the shot, but it ends up deflecting wide. Gets it right back. Shot on goal. Kick save is made. The puck loose in front and picked up by Yorma and skated out now by Terady. Turnover just inside the offensive end, but a nice forecheck there. Yakuri forcing the turnover, made the steal, got it down low, but it ends up now behind the net. Scooping up the loose puck is EA Bunka, handed it off to the defenseman, then chipped in down low. Try to get it back up top. I don't know if that pass was maybe intended for a different recipient, but it was a little off the mark, and now a one-time feed attempt from Chrysidis ends up deflecting all the way back to the Dark Horse zone. Just over 8 minutes gone by here in the second period. By this point in the first, we'd seen at least 2 goals scored, so remains a 3-1 game. The offense is at least slowed down slightly for this one, but here comes an opportunity for Yakuri. Centering feed, great read and intercept by Villo. Just making that read, knew it was going to be a pass, sat back a little bit and made the intercept.
Pretty much telegraphed it, but it played to his benefit of knowing where that puck was going to go and being there. That force did not benefit SJ Gaming.
Quick opportunity as the puck was pushed on net by SJ Gaming, but a big steal, but a nice poke check by McKees to send it all the way back into the SJ Gaming end, because that could have been dangerous with the way that turnover was looking. Bunka got it in down low, got it back, one-time feed. Great shot block by Villo, just doing a great job defensively in this period when it comes to positioning, getting in the lanes, whether that's the passing lane or the shooting lane. Stopped at least 2 really big opportunities for SJ Gaming.
Huge difference maker for Villo right now, making a statement on the back end. That's what we said, cleaning up the defense right there, and he's doing so right now.
6 minutes remaining in period number 2. We remain at 3-1 as we were at the start of this second period. Nice little body check by Karki to force the separation from the puck just outside the blue line. And now Dark Horse trying to get in the offensive end. Vertsu tried to get it in deep, couldn't. That little shot from the point was held up at the top hash mark, and SJ Gaming moving it in deep. The Keys will chase down and scoop it up for Dark Horse. A couple passes later, and it's Vertsu out of the zone, dropping it back for the centerman McKees, entering the zone onside, but lost possession. Here comes Yakuri, thinking maybe to center it, try to get it back, but a great body check combined with positioning by McKees ended up forcing a turnover here, and we're now down to 2.5 minutes to play in period number 2. Much better defensive period for Dark Horse so far.
I think so, and they haven't even given up a lot of shots in the second period, which is nice to see. So an adjustment obviously has been made, whether or not that is because of the result of what they're doing on the ice, or if SJ Gaming is just trying to do the same thing over and over again and making it stop. We see that there. They're stepping up at the blue line now, so preventing that rush from happening is, I think, a good starting point for Dark Horse to kind of rebound.
Yakuri in the final real-time 10 seconds. Quick shot towards the slot. Could not get through on goal. One last opportunity. Oh, that one deflected in front. Ends up going on goal, but a nice kick save is made by Magazam, and that is the end of the second period. No score in that period. Shots on goal, 4-1 in favor of SJ Gaming. They got a nice one right there at the end of the frame. But again, no goals in that period, and that has to be a win for Dark Horse. The adjustments they've made defensively has really made a huge difference in this period.
And at the very least, one, if not two, surefire goals destined for the back of the net, stopped by Velo. That was really the difference maker so far in this game. And now they got a little bit of work to do. They're down by 2 with a lot of time left on the clock. If they can get some offense going, now they can make that transition. Good things are in store for them. They just have to break through this fortress that is the SJ Gaming blue line.
And underway here in the third period, and they won the draw, Dark Horse did, but could not get fully into the zone cleanly. Again, as you talked about, that fortress right at the blue line, a big body check delivered on Terity, who is slow to get up, so we'll see if maybe that slows that player down for at least a little bit. Trying to center himself in front was Koski. Shot turned aside and ends up in the corner. Keys lost possession. It's still in the offensive end here. EA Bunka forced to the corner, spins it back up top. Long shot taken, deflected in front. Opportunity, but maybe looking for a pass was Yorma and ends up turning it over. Quick rush the other way for Dark Horse. Played back to the point, now chipped in deep. McKees tried to center, lost the puck, and it's skated out by SJ Gaming. Pinched at the blue line was Yakuri. That forced the turnover. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in the third. That bank pass intercepted by Yakuri. Centered down low. Quick shot save made by Magazam, and now pinned in the corner, or at least behind the net. Allows Dark Horse to recover the puck and get it just across the blue line. And it was getting it out of the zone that forced them to retreat. A quick opportunity. The first shot of the period. Wow, what a goal. Nicely done. McKees on the board, and this lead is cut to just 1.
And it looked like that puck was going to be saved. As we see the replay here, they just shoved it on net, just kind of as it was coming in front of them, just ripped it on, hit the post, and went in. So persistence being a key there, and a lot of great defensive efforts by Karki. 3 consecutive defensive sticks to break up some plays led to that rush that generated that goal.
Very nice, a little backhander going 5-hole, and 13 minutes left in regulation time. Tons of time for Dark Horse, who's now scored back-to-back, but here's a breakaway, and just like that, lead is back to 2. Yakuri, breakaway goal. You can't give up those opportunities to a player like him.
Yakuri, we talked about him in the pregame, talking about 3 goals coming into tonight on 2 games played. Add another one to the tally, coach, making sure that this team stays ahead and doesn't give up this lead late in games. We know how momentum can change here, Drew. We know how ice tilt works in this game. You feel that momentum shifting, and you have to do something to put an end to it. He did so right there.
It had been back-to-back goals scored by Dark Horse to that point, and they had really been shutting down opportunities when it came to SJ Gaming, the offensive end. But just like that, the momentum can turn at the drop of a hat. Dark Horse trying to take it right back as they have the puck in the offensive end. Sustained pressure, but a great poke check by EA Bunka. Now maybe a breakaway the other way. At least a one-on-one. Great job hustling back by Karki to make sure that that was not going to be a clean breakaway chance.
Amazing bump there, and the defenseman in me was loving that back check effort. She kept skating until she was able to bump him loose of the puck, and that definitely prevented another goal there for SJ Gaming.
And that may have been a dagger of a goal had it been allowed to be scored, but instead it remains 4-2. Still 8.5 minutes to play. Great intercept there by Marquise. Gets into the offensive end for Dark Horse. What can they do with it? Bertsu along the boards. Great centering feed, but can't get the shot away. Was Marquise as he was pressed. Trying to clear the zone now is SJ Gaming. They're feeling the pressure, and they send the puck all the way down. That will go for an icing with 7:05 to go in the third period. First time I believe we've seen an icing today here late in the third.
Yeah, first time we've seen an icing, and like you said, the pressure mounting for SJ Gaming right now, trying to stave off this late game effort to try to get back and get tied by Dark Horse. We'll see if they can hold that.
Yormo won the defensive zone draw to move the puck out of the zone immediately, and SJ Gaming retaining possession as they re-enter the zone onside. Here's an opportunity down low, trying to just force it in was EA Bunka, looking for goal number 2 on the day. That quick shot, not an issue for Magazam as he hangs on with 5:06 to go in regulation time.
Can we just talk about shooting in bunches right there? That was about 3 shots in roughly 11 in-game seconds by SJ Gaming. That was a lot of shots, and able to stay short side. Magazam holding on to the post and the puck for that whistle.
I feel like there's a song written about how many shots they were able to get on goal in such a short amount of time.
Everybody.
Exactly. What? Okay. Moving back to the game here, under 3.5 to play. A 2-goal advantage for SJ Gaming. You can see they're trying to make sure they're setting up from deep in their own end. And now moving out, Yakuri in the offensive end thought about the pass, faked the opportunity to take the shot, gets it down low. EA Bunka hands it off to the center, and now back up top. Spun in deep. EA Bunka will get there first. In the corner, holding it, playing it up top. Long shot taken, deflected wide towards the corner. Trying to spin it back on goal was Yakuri, but hit the side of the net. Still, the puck remains in the offensive end. A quick shot. Great save made by the blocker, but the one-timer is too much, and Yakuri's got back-to-back goals.
You could just feel that one happening, right, Drew? Like just one shot after another, after another, after another. Literally everybody got shots on net there. And right there at the back door, Magazine, desperation save, not able to get there. And it's now a insurmountable lead for Dark Horse to cut into.
5-2 is the score with just under 1 minute remaining to be played. It is a real-time minute, but trying to score 3 goals against any team in competitive sixes in the span of 60 real seconds is going to be an almost insurmountable task for just about anybody. And when you're going up against a team like SJ Gaming, all the more difficult. And here's a chance now. Yakuri, with 2 goals in this game, brought it in deep, but could not retain possession. Maybe an opportunity still to come for him to get a hat trick in this game, but a centering feed, and that shot whistles wide from McKees. Long shot taken, save is made, and swallowed up by Hitala for the whistle with 27 seconds remaining in the period.
And you're seeing a lot of fight here from Dark Horse to rebound and recover. I know that this is going to be impossible to come back from with 27 seconds left in the game, Drew, but you're playing a home and home, right? So you have another game right at the end of this. You want to make a statement to this team. You want to keep them honest. You want to make them respect you. And being down by 3 is not a good way to do that. So you do it by the play on the ice late in the game.
SJ Gaming with the steal, and probably just maybe take another shot here, but that should wind down the clock just a bit. That shot blocked. Opportunity with 2 seconds and 1, but the period and the game will come to an end. The victory belongs to SJ Gaming. They improved to 3-0 on the season. A 5-2 win in Game 1 over Dark Horse, and an impressive feat and a great way to respond by SJ Gaming after giving up back-to-back goals to Dark Horse and Yakuri. What a third period.
Definitely a great third period. A lot of scoring back and forth the other way. After that second period slowed down and teams were trying to figure each other out what they were going to do next, it went back to the team that's undefeated, 3-0 right now. And this is a good start. This is what we talk about. Wanting to get those wins early when you're feeling hot, when you're there. You want to make the most of those opportunities while you have the chance to do so. So great job for SJ Gaming, and they've got to prepare for another one coming right off the heels of this game.
So SJ Gaming closing it strong. They started it strong. That's a lot of energy on their side. On the Dark Horse side, they did score back-to-back goals to try and make things a bit more competitive. Early in the third period, it looked like this was going to be a really competitive game. And then just like that, SJ Gaming just turned it on. Ends up out shooting them 17-5 in that game. So impressive shots on goal totals. And that doesn't even count the ones that ended up going wide or off the post or the side of the net. Just a really impressive offensive performance in that game by SJ Gaming. But Nick, your thoughts on Dark Horse for that one? What can they build on? What can they change as they go into Game 2 of this doubleheader and try to at least leave with a split in this series?
Drew, something I really like about American football is they have this win probability percentage tracker that they start implementing in these games. You can kind of see the little chart of like, oh, they score a touchdown and the percentage goes up of when they're going to win and it goes back down. You can't really do that in hockey because it can just change in a half second, and that momentum can just completely shift the way a game's going to go, and you never know how that's going to work. For Dark Horse, I'd say defensive cleanups, definitely a big ticket item for them. Karki's side a little bit weak. Velo stepped up well offensively, played well defensively as well in that second period we saw, and then Magazine just wasn't at the position he needed to be at to make some of those saves, those second rebound chances, giving up the puck. So just a little bit of the rebound control, those fine-tuned movements that you'd expect to see at this level just needs to happen. He did so in the second period. We saw better play. We saw better play from the defense as well, but I think it was just too little too late by that point, after you're down by 3, it's kind of hard to respond to that. And for Dark Horse, I think you just have to go back to what worked well for you in the second half of the game, which was moving the puck quickly. They stopped doing that in the third period. They have to go back to that and not really taking what SJ Gaming is giving them, because they're not giving them that much. Instead, they need to create chances, which has not been their strong suit so far. They had a couple of good looks at the net, with Virtue obviously shooting 100% when he scored that goal, 1-for-1 on shot percentage, adding to that tally, Drew. But you have to get the puck around a little bit more and make something happen down low. That's where the money's happening, and they're just not able to kind of close in on those chances.
We have got a doubleheader of doubleheaders for you today here for the ECL Elite, presented to you by Wilhelm. And we are down 1 game down, 3 still to come, including game 2 between SJ Gaming and Dark Horse. That is coming up in just a bit, but we're going to step aside just for a minute or so to take a breather, let you get your bearings as well and recover a little bit. And then we're going to talk about game 2 and jump right in as Dark Horse looks to even the series against SJ Gaming. Welcome back to the ECL Elite, presented to you by Wilhelm. Drew Goldfarb, joined by F5 Penguin Nick DeMeo. And, again, I live on the west coast of the United States. It's 11:30 in the morning, so we see those ads for the Wilhelm food. I haven't had my lunch, breakfast, brunch yet, so I had to make sure I got my dog fed before we started this one, rather than feed myself. So, it's I'm going to be starving by the time we're done with this 4-game matchup.
Need a little bit of nosh, a little bit of brunch. Basically, what I'm hearing is Wilhelm has an open market here in the valley of Las Vegas for you there, Drew.
I could definitely use it. We could do it for the next broadcast. I could eat on the air or something. I'd be happy to. It's apparently food on the brain. I didn't, the greenie treat that I gave to my dog before jumping in here is not like looking appealing yet, but man, some peanut butter and jelly or any of those meat snacks sounds fantastic.
Love it.
So we are 1 game down. Dark Horse, SJ Gaming picking up a 5-2 win in game 1. They're going to be playing game 2 in just a few moments. And we've talked a little bit about what Dark Horse did in that second period to really have that response and get back into the game and kind of shut down a bit SJ Gaming. What does SJ Gaming do, or do they need to change anything about the way that they played in game 1 going into game 2, knowing that Dark Horse is basically going to be targeting that second period as a way to play for 60 minutes?
I don't know, and I don't want to speak for them, but it felt like to me they maybe took their foot off the gas in the second period, being up 3-0. I know teams do that. You look at the lead, you go, okay, 3-0 in the first. Anybody that plays in drop-ins or plays in club and NHL knows when you get up and you're finally matching a game, you're up 3-0. If you score another one, they might quit. And then you got to go back into the whole searching, and you got to find a new team. And I think that sticks with you even when you get into competitive. Yeah, you want to win, but you want to also finish the game. And just maybe, a little bit of that maybe came into play because it looked like a different team. It didn't look like the same team that we saw in that first period. Maybe they just kind of backed up a bit. So I think what SJ Gaming needs to do is understand that, hey, they're 3-0. They want to go undefeated. They can go 4-0 if they want to. They have to just keep the foot on the gas, keep the pedal down, and keep doing what they're doing. This is the ECL Elite. We're here for one reason only. That is a prize pool at the end. That is for tournament trophies. That is for greatness, period. So whatever you need to do to get there, do that, and understand that these teams are going to try to surge back and make a response and gain momentum. You have to weather those storms and not give up those goals, because those limited chances can turn the tide of the game.
So another anecdote, because I don't know why it ended up coming to my head when you're talking about the basically rage quitting if you're playing online and you go up 3-4-0 and something like that. And for some reason I was thinking, again, playing games against my brother way back when, Super Nintendo, Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. The pre-rage quit was you couldn't go to the next batter if a fielder was in motion with the ball. So my brother, if I was up 5-6-0, would end up just like running from second to third base until I decided to move my runner from third and he could try to tag me out. And I don't know why, but we were talking about that. I want to point out that at one point I was better than my brother at video games. It's just been, 5 generations.
I love that we both have a baseball anecdote of younger brothers causing havoc. All-Star Baseball 99 for the N64 franchise mode. I was crushing my brother. He takes the memory card out of the controller right when it was going to save, so it corrupted the, I think, 3-year thing that we had. So it was good. It's nice to see younger brothers just being petty when it comes to gaming.
I got my brother back once, though. He got a Pokemon Red or Blue cartridge on Game Boy at one point. And I actually took it and accidentally started a new game and overwrote it. Like, he was 6 months in. So, whoops, but we're even, Alex. Anyway, we are underway here in game number 2 between Dark Horse and SJ Gaming. And a quick opportunity here. Again, Dark Horse is going up on your screen. They're now in black. Going down your screen is SJ Gaming. Here comes Dark Horse with a chance to the forehand, and scoring is Vertsu, and it is a 1-0 advantage for Dark Horse, just like that.
None other than Vertsu stepping up, putting the puck on his stick, and making great things happen. This all came from the defensive play of Velo. So stepping up at the blue line, cutting him off at the half boards, taking off Yakuri, stopping him from getting deep, and then that quick transition on the rush, bang, back the other way. And that's the speed we talk about in NHL 21, Drew.
And that quick 1-0 jump, we saw it in game 1, but it was the other way. SJ Gaming had a goal about a minute of game time in, and here, less than 2 minutes of game time in, it's 1-0 Dark Horse. So maybe they did make those adjustments in between games 1 and 2, and here, some more pressure, but a good defensive recovery by Terrady to force the turnover, because charging in was Chrysidis. Dark Horse doing a great job just not allowing SJ Gaming into the slot yet. As we're now 5 minutes gone by, or just about anyway, here in the first period. It's chipped in deep by McKees, but it was turned over. Now trying to beat the puck, beat the defenseman of the puck was Yakuri. Got there first. Puck is now in the low slot, but again, a good defensive recovery as McKees ends up with the puck, and it will be taken out of the zone by Dark Horse. I thought we were looking at an answer there by Yakuri. Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. A good feeling out process there. As we say that, though, right in the slot, Drew, a goal scored. And I was just going to say, Dark Horse doing a good job, like you mentioned, keeping them out of the slot, keeping those chances wide. This did not happen there. They get right into that circle area and just rip one in, and now it's tied up.
Yakuri just responding after having an opportunity, maybe a breakaway kind of chance, take it away from him, and just like that, just snipes one, picking the top corner. And it is now a 1-1 game. So SJ Gaming, the really quick response is we now have 2 goals in 7 minutes and 3 seconds of game time, which in real time is less than 2 minutes. We've seen a goal aside at this point. Another chance as SJ Gaming gets into the offensive end. It's in deep. Centering feed, pushed on goal. A nice save is made by Magazam, and it's cleared out of the zone by Chrysidis. And now played ahead by Vertsu. Gets it back for Chrysidis, but a good defensive positioning there by Koski, but can't get it out of the zone. Chance again for Dark Horse. Down low. Good poke check. Sends that puck all the way back to neutral ice. Koski, really good use of that poke check, which has been improved greatly, I think, for NHL 21 compared to NHL 20, and using it to their advantage is SJ Gaming.
A lot less penalties, a lot more parity in the skill used behind just mashing that poke button. A lot of the players now using a directional poke and trying to break that puck up from the stick.
Long shot taken, deflected in front, sprawling to force it wide was Magazam. As that one, the shot taken from just inside the blue line, ended up getting redirected by one of a couple of players right in front, but no dice. It remains 1-1, and now a chance for McKees trying to center it, but lost possession of the puck to Terrady, and now cleared out of the zone. EA Bunka spins it back over to Koski. The defenseman tried to get it in deep, couldn't get it all the way as he got crushed by Vertsu. And now Dark Horse with just over 6 minutes left. They turn it over just inside the offensive blue line. Here comes a rush for EA Bunka. Tried to center it back. It's the centerman trying to take that quick little shot and the rebound chance, but Yorma could not get it to go past Magazine. Another opportunity with under 5 minutes to play. Center down low. The puck is in the low slot. It's actually in the crease, and it's actually underneath Magazine for the whistle with 4:42 to go here in the first.
And I think SJ Gaming's forwards has the defense of Dark Horse being a little bit too timid. They're backing up all the way back to the goalie at this point, trying to give them some space, hoping the back checkers are coming in. That's not happening, so the shots are getting on net.
One-timer and a deflection from Vertsu may have just saved a goal, because that, had it gone cleanly, may have whistled past the goaltender.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Better way to get in front of that shooting lane, and that's what I was talking about. They've got to get to the bodies of these SJ Gaming players in the offensive zone for them. They've got to step up and get in front of these lanes. They're doing so there. That was a great shot, great save.
Puck centered, and now a power play coming for Dark Horse. A hooking call, as we are going to see the first power play chance of the day for Dark Horse. It's Yorma sitting for 2.
Power play percentage last year for Dark Horse was pretty great. Third place, 37.5%. That's a number you want to see no matter what league you're in NHL. And we'll see if they can get one here and get back in the lead.
They won the faceoff in the offensive end. Vilo spun in the corners, the defenseman pinching in, got it back up top. Now a long cross ice pass. Centered, down low, quick shot, and a goal. Vertsu's got 2, this one on the power play.
Who else but Vertsu? Again, a pass, moving it quickly there, Drew, from the right side down to the left side, feeding it into the middle, and then Vertsu just finding a little bit of room down low, shooting that puck in. And that's another power play goal, so that's good to see from his squad here as they regain the lead after what some might say is an arguably loose goal that tied it up just a little bit ago.
We've now seen each team with 1 power play chance so far in this 2-game set. Each team has capitalized. And actually, in each case, it was the second goal of the game for that team. So a lot of symmetry when it comes to that. And staying out of the box for the remainder of this game will be a key point for these players, as McKees brings in the puck offside with 99 seconds to go in the first period.
And I love the symmetry that we sometimes get, Drew, in these home-and-home games that we play against the back-to-backs. They always seem to echo or mirror each other as we get into the games.
Good job by EA Bunka getting back on side, allowing Yorma to rush in at least briefly before losing the puck. With under 30 seconds to go, it will be a real-time 10 seconds to close out this period. A 2-1 lead for Dark Horse, and they get it into the offensive end again. McKees try to get it down low, steals it just inside the blue line, try to take a long wrister, but it was stopped in front, and that will do it for the first period. Dark Horse got their first lead of the series and now holds their second lead of the series. It is 2-1 with both goals for Dark Horse coming from Vertsu.
Hot stick right now for Vertsu. That shot accuracy really coming to fruition here of what we talked about in the pregame. He's able to generate just a lot of chaos when he's in front of the net and finds room constantly to score goals. He's doing so there, and this is a good responding period for Dark Horse coming into this game after losing that heartbreaker for them against SJ Gaming just not too long ago. So getting back involved, getting in the lead coming into the intermission, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to go what we talk about all the time, Drew, +1 every period. If you can go +1, you're going to do okay. And kind of breaking it down to micro frames like that of, okay, how do I get out of this period with the lead or even? You kind of want to work toward that goal, and they did so there successfully.
So when we go back to game 1, the first period, the shots on goal were 6-1 in favor of SJ Gaming. They outscored Dark Horse 3-1 in that period. Here in game 2, shots were 7-2 in favor of SJ Gaming, but again, Dark Horse 100% of their shots on goal end up in the back of the net.
Maybe it's weathering the storm the other way, but we saw the quick transition both times. Now, granted, one of them on the power play, they lost the draw, it turned into a goal. That's going to happen, especially against a team that can score as well as they can on the power play. But that first goal, quick transition, moving the puck, that's what they have to do. As another shot comes in from the point, they move the puck quickly. SJ Gaming ties this one up early in the second.
You were basically describing it for Dark Horse as SJ Gaming was going, wait, you mean this? You mean this? How about here? And goal. And just like that, this game once again is tied. The first shot of the second period goes in off the stick of Terity.
And I feel terrible for stepping on your calls on these goals, Drew. This is twice now this game. I don't mean to do it, I promise. But nevertheless, SJ Gaming doing what they do, which is sustaining pressure, finding room, finding space, and then maintaining it once they have possession. That's really what they've been doing so far in these 4+ periods of hockey that we've seen.
41 game seconds is all it took for that first goal of the period to be scored. Another quick little backhand stuff attempt by EA Bunka, but that one stopped by Magazem as he just hugged the post and made sure to not allow that puck to sneak in and make it a quick back-to-back goals for SJ Gaming. Defensive zone draw is won by McKees, and that will allow Dark Horse to move with possession as they skated out of the zone and now into the offensive end, but they lost it there. Yakuri moving up across the red line and the opposing blue line. Try to get down low. Beautiful pass. Great shot as well by Yorma, but a nice save is made by the netminder for Dark Horse.
Magazim going to work there because that was a surefire goal. What a play to get that puck in and on net, but Magazim just standing tall when he needed to. Game still tied at 2.
And that was some serious sauce on that pass because that one was just from just inside the blue line to the mid-slot area, just, you know, went from ice tape to tape without touching the ice in between. Beautiful feed to set that one up. A nice little spin move there by Villo. And now Dark Horse trying to respond as this game tied to 2 on the goal by Terity to open up this second period. We're about a third of the way through the second period of play here. Game 2 of 2 between these teams. And then we've got another doubleheader coming your way between hREDS and YMCA Esports, where I'm sure there will be at least 1 or 2 Village People references being made by Nick DeMeo and myself, Drew Goldfarb, here during that doubleheader.
Can't wait for these young men to take the ice.
After the offside, a faceoff was won by Dark Horse. They got the puck into the zone, but it was taken away by EA Bunka. And now SJ Gaming trying to move it up. Good positioning by Villo to force that steal. A great job there, forcing the turnover, though, on the big body check by Yakuri. Another turnover down low, but the pass banks off the boards and ends up back at neutral ice. A couple big chances by SJ Gaming, but again, Dark Horse bends. They did not break on those opportunities, and now a chance the other way for Dark Horse. Big poke check. Here comes Yorma, all alone on the breakaway. Dropped it back, and a goal by EA Bunka. Did not take the shot on the breakaway. Drop pass delivered. Drew 2 defensemen with him, and all alone, the goal is scored, and it is now a 3-2 lead for SJ Gaming. What a maneuver!
Amazing, amazing play there. I first thought it was poke check free, but not so. Instead, drop back pass for the goal. You don't see that often, Drew.
That is, I think, earmark that one for the play of the night. Or day or morning or afternoon, wherever you may be in the world, whatever time it is. That's the play of this calendar day. Phenomenal goal. And it's all in the pass, too. That pass was just... To have the wherewithal to do it. Another great chance here for SJ Gaming as they're trying to make it a 4-2 lead. On the rebound, they hit the iron. EA Bunka tried to make it back-to-back really quickly, but hit the post with that shot. The shot was great as we have an offside whistle at 7:32. I want to continue to go back to that goal by EA Bunka because it was the drop pass from Yorma, a breakaway with 2 defensemen just barreling down. And to be able to make that drop pass, whew, unbelievable play. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be over that play anytime soon. But a 3-2 lead for SJ Gaming, and now they have it in the offensive end yet again, trying to pick things up in the corner. Centered, and a great steal is made by Villo, but a one-time feed towards the slot turned aside as EA Bunka try to make it back-to-back goals. And now a penalty, and again, Dark Horse back to the power play. Tripping is the call against Yorma, so the beautiful drop pass, and now a tripping minor taken. We've already seen Dark Horse go 1 for 1 thus far with the power play. It only took them 1 shot to make that goal. The defensive zone draw won by SJ Gaming and sent all the way on goal by Terity from about 130 feet away. Trying to re-enter the zone is Dark Horse. They get in the offensive end. Trying to create a little bit of space. Puck in the corner. Marquise tried to center it. Taken away, but Marquise steals it right back. Under a minute to play on this power play before we're back to 5-on-5, 6v6. Great shot taken on that one-time feed by McKees, but turned aside and now covered up for the whistle by Hitala. We haven't said his name much.
No, we haven't. Yeah, the special teams going to work there, and Hitala able to make the saves there when the pressure was building. They're moving the puck quite well.
Beautiful feed to the slot. A nice save again made by Hitala, and that time just sprawling forward to cover up. 3:40 to go in the second period. 27 seconds remaining on the power play for Dark Horse, who, again, 1 for 1 thus far in this game. And for the day, they did not have a power play chance back in game number 1 of this doubleheader. But SJ Gaming clears the zone. That will basically do it for their penalty kill as we return to 5-on-5, 6v6 hockey. Puck in the offensive end for Dark Horse. Can they do something with it? Nice steal by EA Bunka. And now, starting it back out is SJ Gaming. This is Yakuri. Got it across the blue line, but lost possession. Below was leading the rush, but a deke at the blue line by Virtsu, and that draws the offside. That is one of those things that you always take that risk if you're on that rush. If you try to make a move, if you try to do something fancy right around the blue line, you could end up forcing your own teammate offside if they don't think you're going to make that move. They just continue with speed, and that is the easiest way to go offside.
Yeah, pulling up that stick and then moving it backwards with that skill stick that you're not so good at, Drew, is really the difference maker in keeping a play onside versus offside. And you have to really build up that chemistry with your teammates, your line mates specifically. When they're coming in with speed, they have to either hold up or peel back or kind of just glide the line when you do pull back, and it's hard to tell when that's going to happen.
Final real-time 10 seconds of period number 2. A 3-2 lead for SJ Gaming thanks to 2 goals from them in this period. Quick shot taken, dies in traffic, and then it's poked in with 1.7 seconds left. Another goal, this one from Yorma.
This team is relentless right now. It is just constant barraging, puck hungry. That puck, like you said, died in traffic, kind of underneath Magazine. They just kept poking at it. They said, okay, we'll play to the whistle. We're going to keep going, keep going, keep going. That one, look at that right there. Oh, just a little bit bad positioning by Magazine. Had that been an inch or a centimeter for my friends in the EU, angled, it would have just kind of trickled out of the harm's way and behind the net. But man, that's not a goal you want to give up here right before you go into the locker room.
And for our friends in the EU, I actually think that an inch is about 2.5, 2.6 centimeters. Just, have to throw in that correction as we end the second period. Shots on goal in that period, 7-1 in favor of SJ Gaming. So already 14 shots on goal for them. Those 7 shots resulted in 3 goals being scored. The 7 shots they took in the first period only resulted in 1, but 3 straight, and it's now a 4-2 lead after 2.
Listen, we already decided we're not going to be mathing this first set of games here, Drew. So we're going to estimate some numbers as we go, at least when it comes down to measurements and conversions. That's way too advanced right now for someone who has not noshed yet this morning for you.
I mean, I'm just trying to, bring up raise our metrics a little bit here for this broadcast.
How imperialistic of you.
I saw you were taking a drink, so I had to come up with a joke quick. But just like that, speaking of quick, a goal scored by Yakuri seconds into this third period.
And just continuing basically what they did just a little bit ago, pucks to net and relentless persistence. They did so again, and Yakuri just scoring at will right now.
That one just picking a spot with the shot. I mean, beautifully taken. You can see the positioning of the goaltender, Magazine, just a little bit back, a little deep in the crease. That leaves a little bit of that opening top corner, and a player like Yakuri doesn't miss those opportunities very frequently.
Yeah, you can kind of see them too as an elite player and playing this game long enough. You see where the goalie is, you know what shots are going to beat them depending on where they are. And if you're going to step that far back into the crease from that position, they're going to score on you. You have to be mindful of that against a team as good and as hot right now as SJ Gaming.
And now a tripping minor coming against Dark Horse, as it will be the center. McKee is going off for 2 minutes, and losing the center is key, and also giving a power play chance to a team that is already 1 for 1 today and just pouring on the offense as they won the offensive zone draw. SJ Gaming setting things up, looking for that opportunity here to try to send one on net. Down low, center down again. Great save made. Try to go for that one again that they scored with just under 2 seconds left in the last period. They try to bank it off of the right leg pad of Magazine and in, but he had a little bit better positioning this time, and the puck stays out.
And that positioning, definitely the key. We talk about this all the time, positioning of goalies. And going into this season, he was 1.71 goals against average, but now giving up 10 in 2 games. So getting used to this elite division might take some bit of time for Magazine, but I think he'll get there.
40 seconds remaining with the man advantage. SJ Gaming again trying to set up. They force a turnover down low. Centering feed off of the post. And now a chance from behind the net. Spun in front. One-timer. Sprawling, diving save. That is an adjustment to the elite level if I've ever seen one.
He Superman leaped across the net to make that save. And I saw him try to do that last game. It didn't pay off. He did so there, and it looks great when you pull it off. Right, Drew?
Oh, man, that was a thing of beauty. You can call him Soulja Boy because he just Supermaned and whoa. I think that's the radio edit version, so I think that works. We are a family-friendly broadcast here with the ECL Elite presented to you by Wilhelm, and we are back to 5-on-5 6v6 hockey. So Dark Horse kills off the penalty thanks to a beautiful diving, sprawling save by Magazine. Under 14 minutes left to be played here in this Game 2 of our first doubleheader of today. SJ Gaming looking to build on that lead. That shot attempt is blocked, and Vertsu scoops it up and tries to get it out, but a turnover. Opportunity down low. That shot ends up going through the blue paint and to the corner from Jorma. 11.5 left. SJ Gaming just in complete control, but a nice steal is made by Chrysidis, and that starts the puck ahead. Vertsu spins it back and gets it back. Poked away and just barely across the blue line as Karki just could not hold the zone. They will reset in neutral ice. Will Dark Horse. Turnover forced. Here comes Yakuri. 2 goals in this game for the player with the magenta pink icon above him. 2 goals in the third period of game number 1. 2 goals so far in this game for Yakuri. 4 on the day, and they're trying to get him the hat trick. As you saw, I think, where Ikoski was trying to make that feed, was looking for Yakuri right on the doorstep, a little cross ice down low. Chance to the other way, but unable to get the shot away was McKees, as Dark Horse trying to cut this lead back to 2. Turnover, and EA Bunka skates it up. Now, Yakuri, backhander, hat trick! Yakuri makes it a 6-2 game.
Putting a stamp on his impact to this game, Yakuri scoring again. And he's an impact player. I'll tell you what, he's just able to make things happen when he has the puck, finding just a lot of speed, Drew, and just barreling down onto the goalie. Magazine just getting beat again. It's 6-2, and I think this one is pretty much in hand at this point.
Yeah, a 4-goal lead with 6.5 to play. You do get the real-time minute, but the way that SJ Gaming has been played, they have scored 5 consecutive goals in this game. They are not unanswered goals because the first one was a response goal. Just for the record, I think we've gone through it before, how I do not like that term, unanswered goals. So 5 consecutive goals scored by SJ Gaming, and still 4.5 minutes left to be played here in this contest, as SJ Gaming seems very close to advancing to 4-0 on this young season.
Is that the rule, by the way? Like, if it's a goal... I don't want to open up the can. I'm sorry.
The short version is that the way that it gets used is unanswered gets used as a synonym for consecutive. But the problem is that unless it was a 0-0 game before that, that means that you were responding to a goal by the other team. So
That's
if it's
fair.
If it's 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, you had 1 goal that was unanswered until it was answered by 3 goals. Which were scored consecutively.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. Long shots taken, and there's a goal. Villo getting on the board.
That's a good
First goal of the
answer.
day.
A good answer by Villo, and a turnaround clapper, which you don't see too often from the defense, especially in that kind of dangerous position with a winger right on him, able to make a statement and just kind of turn around, rip that one in, and beat the goalie short side. So you don't really see that too often either. So just a weird flurry of things happening there, and putting some respect on the name. I know that Vilo wants to come back and have a bit of a redemption season. So far, doing okay in that personally. Just wants to make sure that reflects to the team.
Under 30 seconds left to go. Another chance here for Dark Horse as they're trying to improve that goal differential. Final 20, centering feed, and that one just goes out of reach of Vertsu, who also, by the way, 2 goals in this game. So had the first two of the day for Dark Horse, goals 1 and 3 of this contest, as we're down to 6 seconds left. Maybe one last chance for Dark Horse to try to make it a 6-4 game. Quick wrister, shot on goal, the rebound was there, and it goes to the corner. And this game comes to an end, a 6-3 victory in favor of SJ Gaming, who wins and sweeps the 2-game series, outscoring Dark Horse by a total of 11-5. Amazing performance by SJ Gaming. Just even when they fell behind in the first period of this game, they just did not stop. And another look at a beautiful goal that was scored here in this contest by SJ Gaming.
Yeah, Kenny Omega would be proud. They got the brooms out, cleaning up on the ice right now. 4-0. Thank you. 4-0 for SJ Gaming to start the ECL Elite division here this season, and that is a really good performance against some teams that have, can cause havoc and cause some damage if you allow them to stay around and hang out in the game. We see guys like Vertsu able to just score whenever they want to. So keeping that at bay is hard to do, and then to do so at scale like this, 5-2, 6-3, that's quite commendable for SJ Gaming.
And we're going to take a quick look at the final shots on goal. You can see the saves. Heathel had not really tested 6 shots that he faced, 19 shots on goal for SJ Gaming, which means that they went 7-7-5 period by period shots on goal. So relentless offense. They had no fewer than 4 shots in a single period of the 6 that we just saw played. They only had 4 ones, 5 ones, 6 ones, and 7 shots, 3 separate periods in this doubleheader that we just saw. Just a really remarkable performance, an elite performance by SJ Gaming.
And the other footnote that we see there is Hietala had a 1 goal against average coming into tonight, and then now gives up 3 on 6 in that game. So, that doesn't, like we said, it's going to change as the season kind of progresses through, depending on who you face. But still able to hold strong, and his team able to rally around him despite giving up 2-3 goals per game, and you get the win. You do have to score typically more than 2 to win, and they do so here.
Yeah, and giving up 5 goals on 11 total shots faced is going to drive down that save percentage just a little bit from that 91.7 that he was sitting at entering this doubleheader. But I mean, yeah, I think he's going to take it. He'd rather have that 4-0 record than that 91.5% save percentage, I think. And, it's, I mean, hey, if you're going to give up 3 goals, you might as well do it in a game where your team scores 6.
And I got to have this conversation with a couple of players last season, guys like Kape, guys like Hanselino. I said, does it matter some of these accolades that they were going after late in the season? I said, you guys are like maybe 2 goals away from this or 1 save away from, didn't matter what it was. They said, it does not matter. We just want the trophy. And that's what they said all season long. I don't expect this to be any different, especially in the Elite division. Yes, it's nice to have a goals against average below 1. Yes, it's nice to have a high save percentage. Yes, it's nice to have a hat trick. But if you could just get the win, I don't think anybody really cares. And then you work to improve yourself as you're working through those wins. I don't think it's going to matter on the other side that, Vertsu gets 2 goals when they lose, right? That's not going to help him, right. Not going to help the team. So as long as you get that dub at the end and you can Jameis Winston eat those dubs ad nauseum, you're going to be quite okay in the Elite division.
Yeah, you want that trophy, you want that cash, and you want the meat, because the ECL Elite presented to you by Wilhelm, of course. And yeah, we saw a great performance in this doubleheader that we just witnessed. We got another doubleheader coming up in just a few moments. I still can't get over that drop pass breakaway goal that we saw in the second period from EA Bunka scoring that one. And just the drop pass by Yorma. I don't know that I'll be over that by, I'll be dreaming of that goal later, in 14 hours when, it's, I guess, time to go to bed here on the West Coast of the U.S.
I hope somebody had clipped that, because I would love to play that again. That drop pass, we see something on YouTube. They said like worst plays of the NHL, where somebody was on a breakaway and dropped past it, and I guess they poke checked it and it led to a breakaway goal the other way. You don't want to do that. You want to shoot the puck, but he saw it there and took advantage of it. Man, that was a great goal.
And that's a gutsy play, too, because when you've
It
got the
is.
breakaway and you've got two defensemen on you to go, I think I can position this drop pass well enough where neither defenseman will be able to poke it. And my player that is charging in behind me will be able to get there. That's gutsy.
That's gutsy. That's trust in your teammate. And it's if I can just say it, it's a little bit of trust in EA to make that happen. I just gotta put that out there. The game has to let you do that, and it has to be perfect. And that's another level of trust that I just don't have.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be afraid if I tried to do that in the game that I'd send a 190-foot pass back to my goaltender on the other side of the ice. So
somehow goes in.
No, oh yeah,
not good.
Because the goalie was, for some reason, didn't have the stick on the ice, and it was just,
the one time that happened. Yeah, I get it. Right there with you. That's why we broadcast.
Yeah, this is why we broadcast, and I don't stream when I play. I do like to, do broadcast commentary for when other people play, because, yeah, it would not be elite. It wouldn't be pro. It would not. Well, I'm also not European, so it wouldn't be ECL. But, yeah. So we do have 2 games still to come that are not being played by either Nick or myself. We will stick to the commentary for the second half of this doubleheader as well. The first half swept SJ Gaming over Dark Horse 2-0 coming up. hREDS against YMCA Esports right here on NHL Gamer. It is the ECL Elite presented to you by Wilhelm. Welcome back to this NHL Gamer broadcast of the ECL Elite presented to you by Wilhelm, the snacks that are making me hungrier and hungrier every game that seems to go by here. I am Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy, joined by my good friend F5 Penguin, a.k.a. Nick DeMeo. We've seen one doubleheader already in the books. SJ Gaming, fantastic performance against Dark Horse. And now, Nick, we move to a matchup between YMCA Esports and hREDS, and this one also looks like it could be a fun one. We basically are looking at these teams that have had a split so far with each of their first series.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And hREDS, they've been around the block a long time, a top team in the ECL Elite, taking on YMCA and some players that I'm not overly familiar with, but have been excited to learn a lot about moving into today's matchups. Some movements for YMCA, some players moving up, and this should make for an interesting contest, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. YMCA is still looking for their first win of this young season. They are 0-1-1 on the year. hREDS 1-1-0. They've got 2 points, so they find themselves right in the middle of this standings. As you can see, these are the updated standings. Dark Horse now 1-3 on the season. They are in 9th place because of the tiebreaker situation with the teams that they're also tied with, because 5th through 9th all have 2 points right now. And when you're looking for YMCA Esports, well, you're looking for them right below that, right? Sitting in 11th place on the year. hREDS right at 8th. So these teams right in the middle of the pack so far. Again, 2 games down. So, take it with a more than 1 grain of salt if you want for the standings. It's still very young in the season, but you can certainly do yourself a lot of good by getting some W's here early on in the year.
And what's interesting about this, Drew, is you look at the goals for and goals against. You have 3 goals for and 5 goals against for both YMCA and hREDS. You can't even go there and go, okay, 2 goals in 3 games got you 0 wins, because you turn around and 3 goals in 2 games got you 1 win for hREDS. So we're way early in this. We know what hREDS is capable of doing. 19-9 last season, so a really good performance. But YMCA, not new to this, 37 points last season, and they're well within their capabilities to do some great things here. Whether or not hREDS can rebound from a split, whether or not YMCA can pick up a win, there's a lot of different storylines that are going to develop through the games here.
Yeah, YMCA Esports, those are some people that have been around the village, so to speak, here in the ECL. That is the first of many terrible village people puns that you can expect in the next hour as we bring you 2 games between the YMCA Esports and hREDS. And Nick, who are you keeping an eye on here for this matchup? Anybody kind of jump out to you as far as a player that you're looking for, especially early in this first game of 2?
Yeah, I want to call out one big name, and I did this last time we called games for hREDS as well. Yoki, the assistant captain on hREDS, league leading last season in pretty much every category that they rank. It is unreal what this guy can do. Second in goals, sixth in points, fifth in penalty minutes, and still able to produce. First in power play goals, sixth in shots, 7 game-winning goals, but then also almost a league leading giveaway and a team leading giveaway percentage. So this guy is able to do things at a scale that is almost untouchable in the ECL Elite, and I look forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do here tonight.
And it's going to be a difficult task to try to slow him down for the defenseman for YMCA. That would be Kopi and Wenger, as you can see the left and right Ds for the team on your left. YMCA will be the team that's going up on your screen for both games of this doubleheader. hREDS heading downwards on your screen when we do get to the games here. So what can Kopi and Wenger do to try and slow him down? Is it a situation where you need the center kind of also assisting defensively to try to slow down a player like Yoki?
So this is interesting, right, Drew? Because you want to slow down the team, and how do you do that against a team that is, a really remarkable performing team? Well, a couple of things I want to point out. Number one, we have somebody moving from center to left D and Angel. So they're going to be playing left D. That centerman knows how to play back checking. So back there on defense now, that might translate to maybe reading the play a little bit better in the middle. The other side, Timothy, is moving from right wing to center. So again, playing down low, covering some areas. That's a lot of work there, and you're going to rely on that centerman to kind of pick up the pieces, especially when you have a forward trio of Benito, Nicodangles, and Yoki doing unreal things on the other side. And that's not to take away from the scoring power that is YMCA.
Yeah, and that's a good point where you have players in the offensive positions for this doubleheader that have played defensively, because Angel, who played the first 2 games of this season at lefty, played all of last season as a center, and because of some late lineup shuffling for YMCA heading into this game, is back at center. But basically, that means that you have 3 defensemen on the ice for this game. You've got 3 players that, either are currently playing in the defensive position or played the first 2 games of the season in a defensive position. So that can really be helpful when it comes to, I guess, assisting in slowing down a really talented offense from hREDS.
Yeah, you talk about moving the puck well and moving the puck quickly. That's something hREDS does extremely well. They're really good at doing that, and you have to be able to get in those lanes. You have to be able to put bodies on them. You don't want to play too defensively against them either, though, because if you sit back, they're just going to pound you with offense pressure. So it's going to be a balancing act, I think, for YMCA to steady the ship against hREDS.
All right, so we really quickly want to look position by position here. We will start where we always like to start. That is with the centers for this game. We're looking at Angel on the side for YMCA and Benito on the side for hREDS, the captain for that hREDS team. You can see their stats, again, through very limited action this season, just through a pair of games. Both of these guys can really pour on that offense. It's something that Benito is particularly last year, 39 assists. That was quite the season.
Yeah, quite the season. A lot of offense generates through him at center. So while it's not always on his stick, he's able to generate a lot of help on offense. 5th last season in assists at 39. So able to do some great things, and takeaways for him as well is something that goes unsung a lot of the time. 82 of them led the team in takeaways for his team last season. So a good, strong front presence for hREDS in Benito. On the other side, Angel, no stranger to center, and is able to do a lot of great things for his team as well. Keeps out of the box, which I like to see. A centerman that does not go to the box often. That's a very rare thing that happens, especially in any sort of competitive sixes. You always get the centerman that goes to the box, and then that right winger steps in to take the face off. That's never going to work well for a team, because that right winger is never going to have good faceoff stats. So how do you combat that? You stay out of the box, and only 2 penalty minutes last season for Angel.
That is very impressive as we take a look here at the wing matchup. We've already gone over what Yoki can do for hREDS and what he did all last season. Nicodangles, actually 1 more point, currently leading his team, tied for the team lead in goals. there's 3 players that have scored a single goal for hREDS, 2 assists, which ties him with Benito, and 3 points. So not a bad start to the year for him. And then on the other side, what do you see for YMCA?
For YMCA, it's really interesting. League rank tied for 8th last season, JM 98, 29 goals in 28 games. So if you're getting above 1 goal per game, you're doing your part on offense, I think is the safe thing to say. And Timothy, we know what he can do as well. Nothing stellar on the stat line, but those two have played together. They know what's in stake for them. And if they can stay underneath 10 losses this season, that's going to be a really good effort. You want to get to a strong start here early and kind of break into hREDS. And you can do that as a wing pair. I think what they do well is they can move the puck down low and it can generate a little bit of chaos from those corners and back and forth. So if you can get behind the net and work back in front, you might be able to break through that defense from hREDS.
Speaking of defenses, we take a look at the defensive pairings for both of these teams. I want to point out that in our first doubleheader of the day, 3 of the 4 defensemen had not played at the level or with the team that they were on entering today last year. All 4 of these guys, in fact, all 10 of the players that are currently in this lineup are very familiar with their team because this is just another year with their teammates for all of them.
Yeah, well established teams here. You know what they're about. They know what each other is about. King of Apes, I like to call him out a lot because again against Philadelphia, scoring a goal. So scored first in the games against Philadelphia. So he's able to get into the offense, make things happen as well. They play really well defensively too. Between him and Temu, they can move the puck and they know what each other's doing pretty much before that even happens. It's kind of unreal how that occurs. On the other side, Kopi, Wenger, guys that I'm not overly familiar with, but I know Wenger enough to know that defensively he's shut down. He can take away the puck. He almost had 100 takeaways last season. Looks to do the same thing here this season as well. And I think what it comes down to is just knowing where the players are moving. And if you can stay fluid and dynamic as you move up the ice, that bodes well for you on the defensive side because you're able to make up for things. And that plays it as well to the center. You want to make sure that centerman's coming back and covering when those defenders are stepping forward.
Now, as we take a look at the players manning their respective nets, the goaltending matchup here, very similar numbers through 2 games because these teams have very similar offensive and goals against numbers so far through 2 games. And even last year, pretty comparable numbers, at least with the win-loss and the goals against average. Not a huge gap between these 2 goaltenders.
No, but I like to mention Viltsup's ability to move across the net. Watched a little bit of game tape from last season, seen some things from him that are really impressive. I hope that translates well to NHL 21. He has the ability to fine-tune movements at a level that is very rare in the ECL Elite or in all of sixes for that matter. And I find that interesting. I want to see him do more of that. His goals against average so far are looking great this season. We know that doesn't matter too much, but 2 shutouts for him. You can't complain there.
So now we are getting ready for game number 1 between YMCA Esports and hREDS. We will have a doubleheader between these teams. That will wrap up our coverage here of the ECL Elite League for today, presented to you by Wilhelm. So, Nick, final thoughts kind of going into this. We saw a 2-game sweep in our first doubleheader. These teams, similar records going into this one. Do we see more of a split? Do you think this is going to be a lower scoring doubleheader than we saw earlier on today?
I think hREDS is probably the favorite going into tonight, just given what they do and what their accolades are. But I do feel like YMCA, previously the Unlucky Boys, so again, this is names that people know, are going to put up a good fight, and I think this is going to be a good, close matchup. Obviously, now that I said that, we'll have to see what happens.
We are underway here, game 1 of 2. This doubleheader, a quick, long 140-foot shot taken on goal. So Viltsup just tested very early there, although a relatively easy test. Going up in all white is YMCA Esports. Going down in all red is hREDS, fittingly, as a quick little push on goal is covered up by Fincona, and that will bring us our first whistle of the game with 1:40 gone by in this contest. I always like looking at the uniform matchups when you get to kind of see teams for the first times in the year. And I like to see a team that is called hREDS wearing nothing but red head to toe. That's quite the look.
It's on brand. The biggest thing I've learned in 2020 is brand recognition. If they can do that, that's already one step ahead of most people.
I have learned how to make a roll of toilet paper last a month. That's what I've learned the most in 2020. But, I guess they do things differently in Florida. I don't know.
Yeah, we're past that point at this point.
2020 feels like a decade. I will give you that much. So, just over 4 minutes gone by here in this contest. hREDS with possession down low. Quick feed up top. The defenseman with the blast, Temu, had his shot deflected wide towards the corner. YMCA moving up, gets into the offensive end, but loses possession immediately. And now hREDS moving the puck back and forth as they cross the blue line and lose possession. Ooh, just offside. I thought they had managed to keep that puck in the zone, but I'm not a virtual ref. I am an esports commentator, so I will leave that up to the officials in the stripes.
I'll ask Toronto later.
See if that offside challenge pays off. Here comes hREDS with a chance. Banked off the boards, and wow, it takes a weird bounce. Ended up underneath the right skate of the goaltender Wiltsup. And now hREDS again trying to get it right in front, but well defended as YMCA moves it out. That was JM clearing it, and now dumped in deep by Timothy, chased down by Angel trying to center. Long D-to-D shot, and a chance from the low slot. Now moving towards the sideboards is Timothy. Pushed off of the puck, but a nice steal made. Puck loose down low, shot taken and turned aside. And now hREDS trying to get it out, but they can't. Timothy with the big pressure, and finally hREDS recovers with enough bodies from their team to skate it out of the zone. hREDS trying to get it in deep. They still retain possession nearing the corner, centered and then down low. And that shot turned aside as a good opportunity was taken there by hREDS. Good poke check right behind the net, but it ends up going right to Kopi, who skates it out. And now a couple passes later, big chance here, centered off of the goaltender. And it ends up going right back. Here it is, backhand pass to the slot, but no chance for the shot by JM as it was blocked and turned aside. hREDS moving it out, and now in deep. One-time feed, well read. Timothy getting in that passing lane and intercepting the puck. See what hREDS can do here. Kind of interesting when we get to watch, because we are watching a stream for one player. So when you can see that player using the way that they use their acceleration boost. I like being able to keep an eye on that meter when you get to watch a game like this, because it's interesting to see strategically when they choose to use it or how quickly they choose to wear that down. Is here hREDS with a breakaway chance. Kick save is made by the goaltender. Sent aside, and now a breakaway the other way. JM all alone, forehander, and he scores 1-0. Breakaway followed by a breakaway, and it is the YMCA up 1-0.
Oh, it's fun when the puck goes in the back of the net, especially from a breakout, a breakaway from a breakaway like you mentioned. And when the game opens up like this, it's really fun to see how teams respond. What a tremendous effort to move that puck through a couple of bodies. Big sauce on that puck, sending it all the way up to JM, who's just sure on the stick, puts it home for the lead. Fantastic
Goals scored, and that breaks a scoreless tie 3/4 of the way through period number 1. Here comes hREDS trying to respond. They've had some good offensive opportunities. That one-timer just ended up going right underneath the stick of its intended target and is cleared out by Timothy, but now an icing against YMCA Esports. So an offensive zone faceoff for hREDS is coming up.
Smart to clear that one out and not take the turnover. He had 3 guys barreling down on him, so instead he just dumps it, hopes to get the chase, didn't get there, but that's okay.
Here comes hREDS with an opportunity, but turned over. Now YMCA moving out, and they cannot retain possession as they try to cross that blue line. Final 2 minutes of the first period, a 1-0 lead for YMCA Esports. Trying to center it, but well positioned by the defense for YMCA Esports there, as they just had 3 bodies. They knew that pass was coming. hREDS again in the offensive end. Final 30 seconds. Can they get another shot? Can they get a good scoring chance here? Sent down low. The forwards trying to do something with it here in the final 6 seconds. That backhander is blocked. It goes towards the sideboards, and now will be held up there for the whistle and the end of the period, as YMCA will take a 1-0 advantage into the locker room.
Heck of a puck movement period for YMCA. Just moving it quickly back and forth. Obviously, that break open goal right here that we see, JM not going to miss from right there for sure. Going back to what you said about the speed, the fatigue meter basically for the players. I will use this as my one time per broadcast to let everybody that is involved in EA NHL 21 to give us an esports spectator mode that shows that view for all players on the ice. We'd love to see it. We'd love a broadcast view. We'd love all these features to continue to grow the amazing thing that is esports for the NHL. We are doing our part. We need your help, developers in Vancouver. Do your part and give NHL what they deserve, a spectator mode for simulation esports hockey.
I'm actually impressed that you went 90 minutes before you brought that up here, because we are talking, this is our first broadcast together with the NHL 21 game, so I would have thought that may have been really off the top, but good job holding off here until the first intermission of Game 3, and there, on a rebound, JM makes it 2-0.
Got to pick your spots, Drew, when it comes down to this. And JM, another goal for him. He picked his spot there. And again, down low, look at that. Bam, right there at the doorstep, that rebound control. We talk about that, the slot area being dangerous for goalies. And if you don't clean up the garbage right there on the stick, it's going to go in.
Kopi in his season debut picking up an assist on that one. There was the shot from the point that generated the rebound chance. So a 2-0 lead for YMCA Esports. hREDS trying to respond here. Bank pass behind the net. Now back up top and down low to the corner. Nicky Dangles banked it around. It gets all the way over to Yoki. Now up top, the defenseman trying to move with it. King of Apes down low. Back behind. Again behind the net. Spinning backhand wrap around. And Yoki cuts the lead in half.
Way to respond there from Yoki. That's the guy I called out to pay attention to and to play more seriously. Wow, what a way to come behind the net there and score one right past Viltsup.
That was a very nice move. And, I know that they added the Michigan into the game this year, but sometimes just that simple wraparound try will do the trick just as well. May not get you as many, hits on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube when you do a wraparound that way, but hey, it's just as effective if you can put it in the back of the net. So a 2-1 lead now for YMCA Esports as hREDS responds. We've seen 2 goals in the first, I think it was 3.5, 4 minutes of this second period, a goal aside. And now sprinting after the puck is JM. He's got 2 goals already in this game. Can't corral it in the corner. Well played by Nicky Dangles, getting back and pressuring him and making sure he could not pick up the puck cleanly.
Yeah, we talk about the flashy versus fundamental. It doesn't matter either way. It's 1 goal on the scoreboard no matter how you score it.
hREDS setting up in the offensive end. They're just moving the puck around very well. Just keep it around the perimeter here. Just a little bit of there's almost like monkey in the middle here. I don't know if that game goes by a different name over in Europe, but keep away. Nice little bank shot, but it ends up off of the post. And now a rush the other way.
That's what happens when you give somebody that much space. They're able to pass it around you, but notice there that the puck didn't get in front for a scoring chance.
They were looking for that opening, and it just never really materialized. The puck sent in deep and is picked up behind the cage by Wenger, but they can't clear the zone. hREDS loses possession, and now the pass up to JM in neutral ice and chipped on ahead. Nice little self-pass by Angel as he chases it down to the corner, centering feet, and that shot goes well wide from Timothy. Missed the net by about 5 or 6 feet.
You don't see that self-chip pass too often. It was nice to see there.
I try to do that in men's league, beer league, rec hockey, whatever you want to call it, and I end up always sending it 50 feet further than I intended to. Slightly harder. But they are on the doorstep, tucking it in, Timothy, and the lead returns to 2.
Bit of a broken play coming into the slot area of the crease there for Fincona, but you see here, just staying on top of it, that one stick lift made the puck just kind of float into the tape of Timothy. He's able to bury that one home.
Great response by YMCA after they gave up the response goal. See, again, this is why you don't use the term unanswered goals, because it's I know, I only get one of those per broadcast. That would technically be a second. I'll stop. 7 minutes left here in the second period.
Basically, we're saying all goals have so far been answered this game.
That is 100% accurate at this point. So a 3-1 lead for YMCA Esports. Big hit in open ice by Timothy, the most recent goal scorer. hREDS with it. Again, playing with it in the perimeter, trying to center it, but a good pickup by the center Angel for YMCA. And now YMCA trying to move things out of the zone. They do. Long clearing pass up to JM with 2 goals in this game. But spun back. Delayed penalty is coming against hREDS. Goaltender going to the bench for the extra attacker. It's the second period, so it's a very long skate. And now, as they get it to the goaltender, Wiltsup had the puck for a moment. Let it be known, the goaltender was controlling a player in the offensive end that had puck possession for a fraction of a second before losing it.
And that's a new feature this year. Oh, dangerous there, but that's a new feature this year that they included the goalie able to control the extra skater. So you kind of want to wait for the delayed penalty to kind of come to fruition, get the skater off, get the skater on, because that player can control his own guy, which is a big difference maker when it comes into sixes.
Yeah, a little round of applause for EA on that one. That's something that's a nice feature to have here to make sure there's no computer player on the ice. But with the power play, 40 seconds left, trying to work down towards the lower slot was Wenger, but could not do it with possession, but they hold the zone. Fakes the shot from the point. One-timer in front, blocked in front. A great chance for JM looking to complete the hat trick, but no dice.
And that penalty will expire.
And now an offside as we are back to 5-on-5 6v6 hockey with 1:20 to go here in the middle frame. 3 goals scored in this period. They're split 2-1 in favor of YMCA Esports, who now has a 3-1 edge in the final minute of period number 2. This is game 1 of a doubleheader between these teams as we close out our broadcast day with this doubleheader. And now maybe a 2-on-1 chance. Here comes JM getting a step on the defense, but could not turn it into a clean shot on goal. 2 seconds left. hREDS, one-time feed. That blast ends up going wide or a little high. And that brings us to the end of the second period. 3-1 is your score.
What a beautiful couple of passes from YMCA on that last scoring opportunity, Drew. That went unsung because they couldn't bury the goal, but it was a nice little sauce pass and then a drop pass. And oh my goodness, that was musical. Just watching that wispy. It was so nice to see. Unfortunately, they couldn't bury the goal.
Taking a look at one of the goals that we saw in that period, that one from Yoki. The only shot on goal from that period for hREDS. They had a lot of good offensive zone possession time, but did not turn into more than a single shot on goal, which, fortunately for them, went in. So what does hREDS have to do here as we're underway in the third period to convert that offensive zone possession time into shots and maybe goals?
This is a talking point I use a lot in North American side when we do our commentary over there, is time on attack doesn't always correlate to success if the shots don't match it. The shots have to come along with TOA or it's a moot point. So you can control the puck all you want to, but if you're not getting into an area where you can put it on net, it doesn't matter. They can control the puck all day long. As long as you don't get tired, you maintain your position. YMCA is doing that, and they're up 3-1.
hREDS 11-3 in the faceoff dot. That is an impressive lead in that faceoff percentage. And I don't know if that was intentional. Oh, that will not go. I thought that would have gone for an icing as that one was swatted away. We are at 5-on-5. So JM gets away with a little baseball swing and sends the puck all the way down the ice. Tried to send his teammate Timothy out on a breakaway, but could not get the pass off cleanly. And hREDS now enters the offensive end. Fed down low, sent on goal. A save is made by Wiltsup, and the puck skated out of the zone cleanly by Kopi. Kopi will spin it in deep, but it's picked up by the defenseman King of Apes and played on ahead. It's about 5 minutes gone by here in the third period. 3-1 lead for YMCA. And now a trip. hREDS will go to the power play for 2 minutes. You very clearly saw that trip on that poke check. We talked in the last doubleheader about how the poke checking mechanics have been improved for this year, but you still obviously can trip your opponent, and that's what happened right there.
You can, and for hREDS, they were 6th in the power play last season from ECL 10. looking to get one here and try to cut into this lead.
Nice shot, got deflected in front, but a good job by Wiltsup staying with it and covering up. 1:08 left on the power play, 14:21 to go in this third period. Huge opportunity here for hREDS. If they can cut that lead in half on this power play, they'd have tons of time to try and tie it. Moving with possession in the offensive end, trying to find a way towards the slot, but you can see all four bodies within like 10 feet of one another, just forming that tight square diamond pattern. Great penalty kill, not allowing great opportunities. There's a nice shot blocker down and cleared, but not out of the zone. Good job sticking it down and holding it in the zone as this power play will come to an end. We're back to 5-on-5, 6v6, and the clearing pass goes right up to Angel. Drop back for Angel in the slot, but he could not corral it as the defense, Temu, got back to clear it out, and now a chance for hREDS the other way. Centering feed, and that one split a couple of attacking forwards. Wraparound try, that's how they scored their earlier goal, but no go on that one. Back and forth offense with some really good chances for both sides, but unable to convert. hREDS setting up in the offensive end. They're looking for an opportunity to try to center it. That pass just a little out of reach of Yoki and cleared out of the zone by YMCA. Angel with it, but lost it and went back towards neutral ice. Taking the red line and dumping it in was Wenger. We're down to 9 minutes remaining here in this third period. Under 8 minutes to play, and now back in the offensive end. Timothy in the corner, spins it down low. Angel back up top, gets it back for Angel. Again, JM just trying to send it right in front. And now a power play opportunity again for YMCA. We'll see what
another
they can
power
do
play. They were hREDS dead last season in penalty kill. They killed off the last penalty. They need to kill off this one here.
YMCA did not record a shot on goal in that last power play chance. That one just sent right into the blue paint and poked out and sent back, but only to the opposing blue line. So resetting is YMCA. A power play goal here would pretty much put this game out of reach as we're down to 6 minutes remaining in regulation time. Jam, 2 goals in this game, feeds it down low. Again, another pass attempted, and that bank clear try ends up going right to Kofi. Played up top, down low again, centering feed. Again, another little backhand try by JM, but unable to get it on goal. That shot is blocked from Kofi, and hREDS will clear the zone, and they have successfully killed off the penalties. We return to 5-on-5, 6v6.
Good kill from hREDS. They had a couple of chances at the doorstep, did YMCA. They just couldn't get the shot on net.
Speaking of doorstep, a great rebound opportunity, but Wiltsup holding the position and covering up for the whistle with 4 minutes to go.
A huge save there, as I said that. Man, that's a game saver if this scoreline holds.
hREDS won the faceoff but could not corral it as YMCA clears the zone. Here comes JM, but lost it just inside the offensive blue line. Under 3 minutes to play, and now JM going the other way. We'll just send it in deep, bank it around the boards, and hREDS will reset. We have talked before in previous broadcasts about when you're down by 2, what your goal has to be, and you need to get a goal right around here. Nice save is made and covered up by Wiltsup.
And luckily, you get the full minute, right? So there's a full minute for the team to use to try to get back in. But once you start clicking down, now we're at a minute 18 left in the game. You have to do something. You have to push a little bit. And there's no difference in losing 3-1 versus 4-1 if you can step up and kind of make something happen. So you got to get shots to net. Wow. Looking at that goal right there. It was nice to see that replay happen. I love that the ECL players and the EU players at NHL Gamer, I'm blessed every time I'm here to say it. They show us the replays. We get to see them. And it's amazing that we can do our job better because the players do their part to give us these replays.
So after the timeout, and yes, we are always appreciative of that, hREDS keeping the puck in the zone even though they lost the draw, but now it's cleared out and skated out by Timothy. Lost possession at the red line, and now a rush the other way. Here comes hREDS in the final 50 seconds. They need 2 trying to center that puck, but it was deflected off the body of JM. And now down low, hREDS takes that shot, and it's turned aside. Another chance, under 40 seconds left. You got to leave yourself enough time for that tying goal. If you're hREDS, you've got to get one, and you need it soon. That blast is blocked.
Great block.
Turned away by Kopi back towards center. 25 seconds left. Here comes hREDS. Spinning towards the center was Yoki. The puck ends up right in front of the crease, but it's scooped up by Angel, and now banked around the boards and out, and now cleared ahead for JM. He'll slow it down and hand it off to Angel. This should ice the game here as we're under 10 seconds left. YMCA Esports will pick up the victory here in game 1 of 2 as hREDS rushes in with the last second, and the final score remains 3-1. YMCA picking up their first win of the season and their second and third points of this young year.
A top-tier performance from YMCA right now, doing all the right things, really, when it came down to this game. Playing at the right time, getting the passes up to the forwards when they needed to, clearing out the defense when they had to, making sure chances didn't get in front when they had to. Like, everything was just the right thing to do. And that led to what some may say is an upset here as hREDS loses this game 3-1.
So hREDS now 1-2-0 on the year. YMCA 1-1-1 on the season, and we will play a second game between these two teams in just a few minutes as we take a look at some of the replays. Really great game performance by JM. A pair of goals in this one, including what amounted to being the game winner early on in the second period as a response. A really nice performance all around. And hREDS, they had some opportunities. They just could not convert it to shots on goal in that middle period. I think really they had so much possession, but just could not convert it. They ended up with a good amount of shots on goal. As you see, the final was 10-10. But yeah, that second period,
quite a bit of shots, but we saw them moving the puck on the outside, just looking for a room in front, just couldn't find any seam to get that puck into somebody where they could score a goal. And maybe at that point, Drew, the shots on net might actually be more beneficial. Is okay, if you have nothing inside, you're being more selective and more stingy with giving up possession. Maybe you want to put a shot on net and hope that something happens. And they didn't really take that chance. And they kept play to the outside, and that was a heads-up performance from YMCA. I want to ask you this, though. We talk about hREDS every single season that we've called these games now. Maybe the high expectations finally weighing a little bit on hREDS is now that the pressure's on them. We thought we would see a breakout season from them last season. We didn't see that. Do you kind of feel that a little bit? I mean, you've played and you've been around some top-tier teams like the Pittsburgh Penguins. Do you feel that? Do you see that a little bit in when people are starting to look at you and going, okay, it's time for you to perform, and then you don't?
I mean, I don't think that from a player's perspective that would ever be a case that you would ever acknowledge. And there may be other things that you would point to and just go, we didn't play our best. The why may very well be the expectations that are put on a team. And I mean, it's a tough thing to deal with. I mean, when you're, there are always teams in every sport that everybody picks, and they get asked 100 questions before they've ever played a game going into a season. You're gonna be so much better. Look at the Buffalo Sabres. Every player that they sign year to year, there's always that point, or the Edmonton Oilers with all their number 1 overall picks, where they still weren't making the playoffs every single season. They acquired Milan Lucic. They would do different things, get a new goaltender. I mean, yeah, if you're trying to find an explanation, either the other people's opinion of what they should be isn't really accurate. Maybe that's overstated slightly or overestimated, or the expectations get to them, because it would seem to be one or the other in that kind of a situation where either they shouldn't have had such high expectations for them, so the people putting those expectations on them were wrong, or the expectations maybe got to them a little bit, or, it could also be, if you want to look at it from a perspective of maybe it's not involving, what could be a reason not involving their team. If you have a team like hREDS that has those high expectations, other teams are aware of that, and they could step up their game when they go up against it. There are plenty of teams that in the pro sports and college football and college basketball that play up or play down to their opponents. And in certain situations, you circle it on the calendar where you go, this team, everybody thinks they're going to be so good, so we're going to make our statement against them. And I think you got, I know I'm not really giving you a clear answer of what my opinion is on it, but because it could be any of those three things in those situations, or a little column A, a little column B, a little column C, maybe.
Certainly an interesting talking point. It's probably different for every single team and every single player, as well as how they view that. Maybe, maybe JM said, okay, this is the game where I have to play my best. And that might be a little bit different than how you play every other game. And it's so weird how the human mind works in that regard. But nevertheless, a run to the semifinals last season, obviously not by any stretch of the imagination a failure, but you want to get this team to the finals. And they've been called upon to get to the finals, to win. And they keep falling short. So maybe this is the season, maybe not. We'll have to see. Great penalty kill for sure, but now we need goals in the back of the net.
And we will have game 2 of this doubleheader coming your way in just a few moments here. NHL Gamers broadcast presentation of the ECL Elite presented to you by Wilhelm, Nick DeMeo, Drew Goldfarb. We will be back in just a minute with game 2 and our finale of this doubleheader of doubleheaders.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.
Well, welcome back after that nice quick break. And again, when we get to see those, we appreciate Wilhelm being a sponsor for us for this season here, the ECL Elite. And I am getting hungrier and hungrier by the second here as it's nearly 1 o'clock here on the West Coast of the United States. Drew Goldfarb, Nick DeMeo. And Nick, we're going into game 4 of our broadcast, the finale here. We were talking about the expectations on hREDS before we went into that quick break. For YMCA, you pick up your first win of the season. What are you doing? What are you talking about going into game 2 of this doubleheader?
Copy, paste. Literally. Control C, Control V. They did everything right. Yeah, or
could be Command C.
If you want to be that person, I'm not going to judge you to be that person. But
what we're doing is I'm a Mac, and then you go I'm a PC, and we throw back to those. I'm Justin Long, and you're. I remember the actor's name. That was the PC.
I was hoping you'd get the reference. Thank you so much. We've gone through hip hop, sports, music, wrestling, and now operating system puns. We're all over the place today, and that proves that we're a match made in heaven here on the ECL coverage for NHL Gamers ECL Elite Division. But copy paste is what you want to do. You don't want to change what you did. It worked. It worked almost to the letter. Like, yeah, they gave up a goal. Sure. But that's going to happen. Like, that's part of the hockey games. If you can play like that again and you can respond to whatever hREDS is going to do to change up, which is probably going to be generating more shots from the point or from those half board areas when they had a little bit of space but didn't take a shot, I think you're good to go. Making sure you stay solid defensively, you hold your shape, you don't bait to what they're trying to do, because that's what hREDS does. Is they try to draw you out of position every single time. If they can be disciplined and do everything they did in the first game while maintaining just a touch more offensive time of possession, I think they're going to be okay here.
I had to point this out because, again, we talked about the uniforms briefly in the last one. I'm just now realizing, because I'm looking at the logo on the chest for YMCA, and I know that it's a Y. But have you ever watched the show Black Mirror?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because it looks like the symbol that appears in all of the episodes. It's the Y symbol. That's what is on the chest, because it kind of looks like the San Antonio Spurs Spur logo. It's slightly angled a little bit, but I mean it's a blocky Y. But look, it's on your screen there. That right looks there. Like yeah. I'm waiting for the woman to go through the maze of people taking her video and pictures and all that stuff. That's one of my favorite episodes of the series. But
I'll wait for you to make a correlation between the team and their performance as it pertains to Black Mirror here shortly.
I mean, huge expectations on me. We'll see how I perform with those on my shoulders. We're now underway here. Game 2 of this doubleheader. YMCA Esports in all black going up on your screen, and hREDS in the all white with the red accents going down on your screen as they look to even up this doubleheader, this 2-game series that we're seeing. but it is YMCA with possession first, and they're setting things up. But that bank pass a little too hard. Goes all the way back and on goal, where Wiltsup touches the puck for the first time here in Game 2. I like that little back-in attempt by Kopi on that one. That's kind of like the beer league special. It's a non-checking league, so you're just like, I'm going to back in. You can't do anything. What are you going to do? You can't check.
Yeah, right.
Quick shot, a rebound opportunity was there, but again, that's Kopi right there to scoop it up and start it out as it goes back towards neutral ice, where it's picked up by hREDS. About 4.5 gone by here in this first period. It's maybe the longest we've gone without a goal. Oh, no, actually, game 1 of this doubleheader, we saw a little bit into the first period before we saw that first goal. But
that's right.
Used to seeing a lot of quick goals to open games in the first 3 games that we've seen, especially in that first doubleheader. Nice little opportunity here for hREDS, but that little spin could not result in a shot on goal. But hREDS were covering the puck in their own end and starting it back out.
And you never want to play down early, right? You don't want to be down by 1 to start a game. It's hard to kind of play your game when you do that. So good, interesting here to see a scoreless game so far, almost midway through the first.
Yoki tried that wraparound. It worked for him in game 1 of the doubleheader, but nice little save made by Wiltsup.
Fired out that kick save.
Just, kick out that leg and not in my house. Here we go. Halfway through this first period, long breakout pass set up for Timothy. He tried to get it across again, but that one intercepted by hREDS, and they will reset from their own side. I did just think of a way to connect Black Mirror, in fact, that episode to this. And you basically need that serum. If you're hREDS, you got to forget what you did in game 1 and just redo it all over again, but more shots. Try to remember one little thing, and that might be your way to work your way out of it. It's a bit of a stretch to connect that to Black Mirror, but it works a little bit.
I applaud the effort, nonetheless.
I get a Y for effort. hREDS could not, again, turn that opportunity into a shot, and now a 2-on-1, 2-on-2. That feed down low a little bit too far in front, but it was actually because of a delayed penalty. A trip is coming against hREDS, so another power play chance for YMCA. They were unsuccessful in their opportunities in game 1, but another opportunity here in game 2. A quick feed off of the draw. Big blast by Kopi, and a nice save is made by Fincona.
Took a rip there, and Fincona able to stay with it. Those quick off-the-draw face-offs, I talked to some of the elite goalies that play in competitive sixes. Those are harder for them to stop this year. And just being a little bit more disciplined, staying home and not getting right to your spot is kind of what you want to do. And he did so there.
Kopi again with another shot. That one was blocked in traffic. Another chance with a lane. That shot gets through, but a save is made, and Fincona will cover up for the whistle. Kopi being a big part so far on this power play, taking a few shots towards the net, and including that one big blast right off the draw. Always interesting to see when you see a guy making his season debut, what kind of contribution is he going to make? And Kopi trying to be a big contributor in the offensive end so far here in game number 2. Of course, had an assist in game 1. JM had a pair of goals and handed it back, got it right back as we are 15 seconds away from returning to 5-on-5 and 6v6. Quick little wrist shot taken, redirected on maybe on a rebound, but the save made by Fincona. 2 seconds left on the power play, so if hREDS can win this draw, just send it. You just want to loft this one out to center ice. If you're a defenseman, you've got to be back skating really quickly, tie up off the draw, but it will be YMCA scooping it up and keeping it in the zone, so no chance for that home run, Omaha-style pass for hREDS off of that faceoff. They do kill off the penalty successfully, though. Another good penalty kill by hREDS as they now turn it into an offensive chance. A couple of quick passes. It's loose in front. That shot does not make it through as Angel scooped it up and then spun it back and gets it back to skate it out of the zone. Long bank pass on ahead. Nice little stick to poke that one away by hREDS and force the turnover just inside the offensive end because Timothy looked like he was just going streaking down the side. Nice little poke of his own by Wenger. At least slowing things down here in the final 30 seconds. A chance for hREDS to try and break the scoreless tie. As the puck ends up back in neutral ice, 7 seconds left. hREDS will just try to kill the clock, maybe try to get one shot. 3 seconds and 2. A little spin move does not work. And for the first time today, we go to the locker room after one in a scoreless tie.
So weird to say that for the first time, but one shot on net registered there for hREDS. Like we said, they got to generate more shots. It seemed like midway through this period, YMCA was doing the exact same thing that I said that hREDS needed to do to change the course of their success here, which was more shots, more pressure, more firing. They did that instead of hREDS.
So an interesting period, and it'll be interesting to see who can break this scoreless tie at some point. We had seen through the first 3 games, that's 4 plus 3 is 7, 8 total goals scored in the first period. Through the first 3 games, we get none in our finale for the day. So 0-0 as we start the second period, and hREDS trying to move things up as they get in the offensive end first, but lose possession of Timothy. Can't clear it immediately, but it will be cleared with a nice long pass, and now banked on ahead. Played back to the defenseman Kopi, D-to-D pass, and now spun down low. Playing beneath the goal line, opportunities, a little spin and a backhander on goal by Jam. An interesting maneuver there. But a save made by Fincona.
And I like the little touch and go. That seems like a good little effort there. If you kind of get the goalie sliding across to the front, you can tuck one in on the short side. That's nice to see. But Fincona, again, playing really well defensively right now, staying in his position.
YMCA resetting from neutral ice. The bank pass off the boards was not going where it was intended to, and hREDS will start it back. hREDS in the offensive end. Now in the corner. Centering feed on the one-timer, and they take the lead for the first time today.
And that was a quick strike, Drew. You kind of saw that coming out of nowhere. And again, Yoki doing what Yoki does, scoring a goal here at a crucial moment. And it's 1-0 hREDS.
Beautiful feed and the knee drop snipe by Yoki. He's got both goals for hREDS in this series. And for the first time again in this series, hREDS holds the lead. It's 1-0. Trying to chase it down is JM. Gets in the corner and plays it back up top. Long shot by Kopi, deflected by the traffic in front. I don't believe that made it through to Fincona, and hREDS will skate it out. 14 minutes left. A nice steal just inside the defensive end by Timothy. That allows the puck to at least go the other way for YMCA, but they can't get into the zone cleanly. Here comes Kopi. Spins it back. Dangerous pass. It's intercepted. hREDS sprinting in on the backhander and turned aside, but a one-timer. Rebound chance, and again a one-time feed. No dice. YMCA's defense recovering. They gave up 3 or 4 huge chances, but the goaltender, Wiltsup, was up to the task for the first couple, and the defense blocking the last couple.
Getting in front of lanes, making the saves. Wow.
JM with the steal in the offensive end, but he sent it off the side of the net as we are now at the midway point, not only of this second period, but of this game. A delayed penalty is coming against YMCA.
Oh, no.
And you can see, taking their time. Fincona's got to go to the far bench. He seems to be held up a little bit. EA gonna EA. As the puck finally touched by YMCA. It looked like he was almost doing the YMCA dance at center ice, or maybe he got into an arguing match with Pierre in between the benches, or Ray Ferraro, I guess.
If I ever got to the NHL, I would.
Being called off the ice, it's just like, wait, Pierre's here, or is that Ray? I gotta, just spray him with some snow every now and then. Anyway, power play chance for hREDS, trying to build on their lead, but a shorthanded opportunity for YMCA. JM is the one that is in the box as we're halfway through this man advantage for hREDS. Nice little pass back towards the slot. Again, playing within the slot. That shot blocked in front and cleared all the way down the ice by YMCA, just wide of Fincona's cage. Pretty little drop pass just to get things going. We're down to 10 seconds left on the power play. hREDS trying to get something going here as we're back to 5-on-5, 6v6, trying to just shove it in front, but it's cleared. And now a breakaway, but offside by a fraction of a meter.
Oh, you want to have that one back. Oh, no. Bad timing there, led to the offside. and it came all the way back into their defensive end.
Yeah, not only do they not get JM on a breakaway, who had 2 goals in game 1, but they also, because it was offside and the pass was thrown from the defensive end, that was where the faceoff was. It did not end up costing them, at least not on the faceoff, but here comes hREDS back into the offensive end, trying to center, send in front, and covered up by the goaltender Wiltsup. Faceoff will be to Wiltsup's right. Won by hREDS, spun down low, one-time feed, and it's 2-0! Big goal scored by Nicky Dangles.
Nicky Dangles coming to play here. 3rd in the league last season with assists, this time getting a tally on his stick and finding the back of the net over a sprawling Wiltsup. Could not get there in time, and it's 2-0.
And the key to that play was that Nicky didn't Dangles. He just shot, and that was beautiful. Quick shot off of the pass, and now a 2-0 lead for hREDS and a big hole for YMCA to try to crawl out of, and this isn't going to help. hREDS, a breakaway again, backhander tucked in for the goal, and that one scored by Nicky Dangles, who dangles and shoots to score on that one.
This time not missing the net, Nicky Dangles. I was going to say the new phrase should be Nicky Snipe Selly, but this time Dangle Snipe Selly. Nonetheless, great back-to-back goals there from the right, the winger for hREDS, and they are in well command of this game now.
That play was read, and no pun intended, hREDS just read that play like crazy, and turned that into a breakaway and a goal. And incredible, because we were just talking about too, as the power play ended for hREDS, YMCA had JM, their leading scorer, on a breakaway, but the pass was just ever so slightly too slow, or JM was a little ever so slightly too anxious, and it was called back for offside. And since then, hREDS has scored back-to-back goals to make it a 3-0 game.
It's what we talk about. You want to have those moments back, because those are the defining moments of games, and if you miss those opportunities, good teams will make you pay for them.
It could have been 1-1. Instead, we sit at 3-0 in favor of hREDS as we're in the final minute of period number 2. We saw no scoring in the first period. All 3 hREDS goals have come here in the second. And as they have possession with the final real-time 10 seconds underway, they're going to try to make this 4-0 if they can, but they lose possession. Timothy skating out, gets it across for JM. 2 seconds left, quick shot attempt, but they won't get it off. And it goes to the locker room after 40 minutes. 3-0 hREDS.
And it almost feels, Drew, as if hREDS has figured out this team now, doesn't it? It almost feels like they've put the puzzle pieces together and said, "Oh, okay, we got this. We know what they're about now."
Yep, it's hands up, hands on top of the head, hands to one side, hands connected above the head, and that has been telegraphed by YMCA to hREDS.
I see what you did there. I at first maybe was thinking hREDS thought maybe it's so you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. But that was not the case, not the song that they needed to be aware of. Yeah,
that's a little too hokey for this.
Yeah, we can't
This
poke
is the
holes in
elite
that.
level.
Yeah, right, we're up from pro.
Final start to the final period here, and a quick chance for YMCA as they took that quick shot on goal, but a nice save made by Fincona to get things underway. And now a breakaway for hREDS as they go to the forehand. Beautiful touch, and just tapped in. Yoki now with 2 goals in this game. It's a runaway. It is 4-0 hREDS.
Is this the new play of the night right there?
It's something. I'd make that the runner-up at this point. The boldness to do that drop pass that we saw on a breakaway and to pull that off to split 2 defensemen with a drop pass, still for me, but that was gorgeous. And there, a quick answer. Timothy tried for that cross ice pass. It got blocked. He picks it up and puts it in, beating Fincona for the first time in this game. So game's not over yet. It's now 4-1.
Game's not over. Slowing things down, definitely. breaking the shutout, which is a big deal for a lot of goalies at this level. They want to hold on to those leads and keep those goose eggs intact for their team, but not the case here. Down by 3. Got a little bit of time left on the clock, Drew. I think you can do something here if they can score another one quick.
We've seen 2 goals, 1 apiece in the first 2 minutes of this third period, and hREDS charging in, looking for a third, but could not get the shot away. Would have been their second of the period, the third overall. That shot on goal, kicked away by Fincone. It ends up in the corner. Another opportunity here for YMCA, but they can't corral it. hREDS gets it out of the zone. Now moving into the offensive end. Centering feed, well read and intercepted by Wenger, but he can't clear the zone. hREDS again recovering it. Pinching in down low. They've got 4 players low. One of the defensemen stepping in deep. They've got to get a chance here. They get it on goal, and now maybe a breakaway chance. Wow. It was red. JM one-on-one, dangles and shoots and scores, and play of the night is right there.
Oh my goodness, what a set of moves from JM. Starting from the back, Drew, a rocket of a saucer pass up the ice. I don't even know how you do a pass like that to get it up to JM first and foremost, but dangle through the legs, back the other way, and now it's within 2. Whoa.
I am just blown away.
I haven't seen goals like that in a long time in competitive sixes.
Look at the move.
It was undressing.
Oh, not only had to fake out the goaltender, but had to get around a defenseman like King of Apes and went through him. That is unbelievable.
I don't have words. Wow. I know it's our job to have words. I don't have words.
Absolutely mind-blowing. You were asking me a moment ago if we may have found a new play of the night. I think the answer now is yes.
Wow.
We are now at 4-2. This is a game. And JM is going to try to just race down to try to chase this one down, but hREDS will get it in their own end. That is what we were expecting out of the penalty kill with JM out of the box. That breakaway pass was thrown nearly identically, but this one picked up onside with the defender.
Yeah, the defender didn't seem to matter for JM. He just put that one in no matter what.
Whew.
Drew, I have called over, I don't know, 400 games of competitive sixes at this point. Very seldom do I see a goal that good with a defender in tow.
That is absolutely unbelievable. And here come YMCA yet again, trying to cut this lead down to 1. The quick shot taken didn't get through as Wenger, the defenseman, was pinching in. Good job on the back check. Timothy taking his spot, making sure it did not give up an odd man rush the other way. A wraparound try denied by Viltsup.
Can they come back here? Face off right now to the right of Viltsup. This is a big one here because they got to get a goal, I want to say maybe before the 4-minute mark.
Tie up off the draw by Angel, and that allows the puck to be moved out. That pass a little out of reach. It will go for an icing. Good job there. I believe that may have been Yoki that was defending on JM and making sure he did not get in cleanly. And they're right off the face-off. Yoki was looking for the hat trick, but missed the net by just a little bit. Here's another chance. Good poke check by the defense for YMCA. YMCA needs to clear this out. hREDS loses possession. It will be Timothy who started things on that last goal. Handed over to Angel, centered, and now cleared out of the zone by hREDS. It'll go all the way down the ice for an icing.
So we're approaching that 5-minute mark, Drew, and so far, puck's been in the end of YMCA for a while. This is a big opportunity for them here.
But hREDS wins the defensive zone draw. Can they clear the zone? Just barely, but they lose possession of it. Great stick work by Timothy. Tried to center it, lost it back to the defenseman. Long shot, save. Rebound was loose in front and set off the back of the net by Angel. And I believe up into the protective netting. May have dropped down to a young girl from Shawinigan.
Once per broadcast.
Once per broadcast. Long shot off of the faceoff taken by Kopi. It ends up going wide. And now an odd man rush chance for hREDS, but a trip is taken by Wenger. So a power play is coming, and that is big. It would have been an odd man rush, so not the worst penalty, but timing-wise, 3:43 to go in the third, down by 2. hREDS with a power play, trying to put it away, and putting it in for the hat trick is Yoki.
I was about to say very few times it's a good penalty, but that was a good penalty, but not when it leads to a goal. So a power play goal puts the dagger in on YMCA as hREDS now has a 3-goal lead.
5-2. Under 3.5 to play. Nice steal by Timothy. They want to do something really quick. I mean, it would be hard to come back against a team like hREDS, against any team in this kind of a situation with this kind of time. You do have a real-time minute to close out the game. Here's a chance. Trying to center it was JM, but lost possession. And this may just do it, as hREDS will get it into the zone. And by the time YMCA gets into the offensive end, if they could, but they can't, hREDS 2-on-1, back and forth, and one too many passes. The puck ends up in the corner. And again, down low, puck cannot be sent on goal, but with 50 seconds left in a 3-goal lead, this is all about time for hREDS. Yoki couldn't send it on goal, but 40 seconds left. Cleared on ahead for Timothy in the offensive end. Center. Shot could not be taken. Back for Timothy. Goes away from him. Poked away. And here comes hREDS on another, maybe a breakaway, maybe a 2-on-1. Good back check. Forcing the turnover as both defensemen got back on that one.
Good stick there.
20 seconds left. Centering feed. The shot taken. Loose in front. Covered up by Fincona with 17 left. So now the question becomes the margin of victory, because hREDS is on their way to earning a split with YMCA.
A hard-fought split at that, Drew.
An impressive Deacon Dangle split. And now, with 4 seconds left, this game will come to a close. Your final score, hREDS 5, YMCA 2. That earns a split, as you see the final shots on goal, 15-11 in favor of YMCA. The teams were actually tied 10-10 in game 1, so interesting to see that. But whew, what a game that was. I think that we're looking at that goal again. I mean, in a losing effort, that beautiful goal. We're going to take a look here first at Yoki, who had a hat trick in this game. This was really pretty. And you were thinking that may have been, play of the night worthy. But boy, oh boy. And this one, Timothy just staying with it, reading it. He threw the pass, did a really good job there. But I think this is the one. Yeah, here we go. This breakaway. I mean, might as well. One-on-one.
The pass itself was insanely skillful. And then to be able to do that with a defender on you the entire time and undressing him and the goalie is remarkable. That was something for the ages, I think.
That was just insane. I mean, in a losing effort, but a highlight reel goal for sure. That one will live on for a long time in NHL gamer lore. Here, the ECL Elite presented by Wilhelm, and we are now done with our 4 games. We've seen 2 doubleheaders. We saw a sweep by SJ Gaming in the first doubleheader. We saw a split, hREDS and YMCA Esports earning that 1-1 split here in the most recent doubleheader. I can't get over that goal. Again, I know it's in a losing effort, but holy cow. I can't think of anything else at this point.
It's very similar to, I think, what was it? The Odell Beckham catch against the Cowboys. They lost that game, but everybody remembers the catch, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. Definitely want to make sure I mention this, Drew, before we get out of here tonight. Want to apologize, obviously, for the audio technical difficulties you may have experienced watching this broadcast of the ECL. We had a couple of audio stuttering issues, but we more than appreciate all of your patience, understanding, and loyalty to NHL Gamer and the ECL, of course. Many thanks to you, Drew, for another amazing broadcast. I think that's going to do it for us, but that's not to say there's not more coverage all season long here with 2 other amazing broadcasters too, in Tugi and in Sin, who I see is in the chat. We got an A+ all-star talented team here on the production and on the broadcast side in NHL Gamer, I think.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Looking forward to another season here. It's always good working with you, Nick. And right before we wrap up, we do have, by the way, more coverage in Finnish tomorrow. English, the next coverage will be on Monday. It will not be either of us doing the Finnish broadcast because we're not quite as fluent in that. 3 stars of the day. I always like to do that to wrap things up. I've got 3 in mind. I don't know what order to put them in. I'm going to go with Yoki, 4 goals in their series. Yakuri, 5 goals. Kind of hard to not put him in there somewhere. And it has to be JM, 3 goals over the course of 2 games, including the goal of the season. I don't think that one's going to be surpassed at any point.
I had almost the same as you. Yakuri would have been swapped out for Nicky Dangles for me, just in prowess of goal scoring ability when you need to do it. He was able to change the tide of the game that allowed them to split this series. So hats off to them, but not taking anything away from Yakuri for sure. And then an honorable mention to a losing effort on the other side, as well as in Virtsu, being able to do what he does and just shot accuracy, just putting the puck in the net whenever he has the puck. Like, it just is on his stick. It's a goal. Like, you can just pretty much bank on that. It's a coin flip for him to score it or not. And that's rare.
And at a point, it's becoming the Harvey Dent coin too, not the two-face coin, but it's where it's heads on both sides. It's very nearly there when it comes to shot percentage. So, it's been a great day for this broadcast. Looking forward to working with you again in the future. Nick, he is Nick DeMeo. I am Drew Goldfarb. You've been watching the NHL Gamer here, the ECL Elite, presented to you by Wilhelm. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.
Wilhelmin ykköskentän pakkeina uudet tulokkaat. Sour Cream Snacks ja Flaming Hot Snacks. Kotikatsomoissa mukana Wilhelm Snacksit.